Okay. Hello, my friends. How are you doing? I guess today we have a lot less people watching because it's about ComfyUI. Woo! Yeah. So I just want to show to people how you can use it. That it's not that hard. You can do a lot more things. It's more experimental. These kind of things, right? So let's see where the numbers get. I don't know. Let's see. It's just right now the numbers are pretty low, but let's see. Hi Debt, how you doing? Hi Lewis. Hi Banish. Hi Olga. Hi Reroll. How you doing? Hi Nikori. How you doing? Thanks for joining. Control Alt Delete. Thanks for joining. Andres, did I write it? Oh no, okay, that's okay. Hi Andres, how you doing? Hi Cliff. Is it Cliff? Yes, I think so. Hi, how are you doing? Menaliath. Hi. Thanks for joining. Pretty cool. Hi, Ophelia. Thanks for joining. So yeah, let's see. By the way, I haven't massively used it myself, so it's not like I'm an expert in ComfyUI, but it's not that hard to use. There's some very nice examples online. We can check that out a little bit. And I want to show you some things that you can do with it that are just like to get you in the thought, in the mindset, right, of using ComfyUI. Hi Saul, how you doing? Thanks for joining from Brazil. That's pretty amazing. Neo Futuro, hi, thanks for joining. Hi Gregor from Swiss, I guess. And then Gabriel from Santo Domingo. Wow, nice. Hi, nice to see you. Hi. Watch so many videos. You just said my band name. Oh, okay, cool. For all that help. Yeah, that's amazing. Yeah, you're welcome. Your band name is Control Alt Delete. That's pretty cool. Hi, Fiarn. Hi. Thank you very much. Hi, how are you doing? Hi, Andres. How are you doing? Is Automatic 1111 dead? No, I'm using it as the main UI still, and also most in my tutorials, but a lot of newer things just take some time until they come to Automatic 1111, because it's kind of, I would say, like centralized in the way that there is like a developer or a team of developers. I don't actually know, but they decide the kind of extensions that work with Automatic 1111, and they are kind of like slow upgrading the UI. while with ComfyUI, you can just create your own nodes on the fly if you want to. If you know the coding a little bit, you can also have ChatGPT help you with the coding. And this is why if something new comes out, you can first, like most of the time, first check it out on ComfyUI. And also ComfyUI can be a lot more low weight, because you only need to use what you need at that moment and not load all of the other stuff. Like inside of Automatic 11.11, you have all of these extensions active. Of course, you can deactivate them and stuff like that if you want to. But with ComfyUI, you can build like precisely the workflow that you need for that process, and you can do a lot more. Like you can, for example, load multiple models at the same time and work with them at the same time, which you can't even do in Automatic 11. So we're gonna check that out. Who else is here? Hi AI Dan, how you doing? Hi Reroll. Hi Adriano from Brazil. Nice to see you. Hi man, how you doing? we kind of got lost with this kind of tradition of everybody telling where they are from, so we should pick that back up maybe. Hi Axel, how you doing? Thanks for joining. Hi Citrus, is it like that? Hi, thank you for making all these great videos. Yeah, you're very welcome, my friend. Neo Futuro, hi, thanks for joining the live stream. Hi Robert, hi Vera, thanks for joining. Seem to grab setting image. What? Seen some grab of a settings image and then loaded the nodes. Is that a thing or am I mad? No. If you any image that you generate with ComfyUI has the complete workflow built as metadata inside of the image. That is another huge benefit of using ComfyUI, is that you don't have to save the different like workflow builds that you create as separate JSON files. They are part of the image, and you can also send them to other people, and then they can use the exactly same workflow that you have. So it's very, very useful, right? How many people are from Brazil? Yeah, apparently several. Hi Kevin from Basingstoke. What? I can't speak that. Basingstoke in England. Hi. Hi Cliff, how you doing? Have you looked at the focus? Yes, I have already made a video about focus. It's very nice. I really like it. Grenier, sorry, today my reading is bad. Hi from Germany, that's nice. Greetings from Germany, I'm also German. Hi Ali, how you doing? Hi Bori Kua Flo. Hi from Puerto Rico, that's pretty cool. Hi Firth, hi Sartorius, hi. Red Octa. We should actually, like, from Portugal. Hi. We should maybe start the video. Daniel is also from Portugal. No, from Poland. Sorry for that. CK is from Croatia. FC Lee. Hi, how you doing? Sartorius. I already said that one. Okay. Heyman is also from Brazil. Andre is from Romania. Drake is from South Africa. Hi, how are you doing? That's so nice. Kopanique. This is one of the most international streams I've seen. That's good. David is from Sweden. Hi. Dwight from Cornwall, England. Hi, that's also good. Andres from Colombia. A lot of amazing countries I want to visit. Awan is from Bangladesh. Hi. Neofutura says, image generated on ComfyUI. Yeah, have the whole workflow embedded right in the metadata. Right. Ayush is from India. Hi. Nice to see you. I have been in North India, but not South India so far. Very nice in North India. Very beautiful country. But also very large. Like a lot of your smaller cities are bigger than most cities we have in Europe, like the major cities. So that's crazy. You come to like a town with your bus and you think like maybe a couple of thousand people here, and then it's like millions. Really, really big. It's crazy. Hi, Chip from the UK. Renz is also from Germany. Hi, how you doing? Okay, I guess we should get started. Let me switch over here and then switch the screen so you can see something. I hope it works. Yes, there we go. Okay, cool. What is this? Oh, this is the image preview. This is the high resolution, upscaling. All right, I guess you can't see everything, so I need to, I can scroll here and move it over so I can see it a little bit better. This is what I showed you last time in the video with this kind of impromptu LoRa that you can create. So you can do some really crazy stuff. Whoa, this is jumping around like crazy. One second, let's put it here. And then let me move this, or let's put this over here, and then we can like just balance this until you're out of view. There we go. Okay, cool. So now we're good. And the cool thing here is like you load 6 different images, any kind of thing you want, should be similar style. And then this is like converting them into an image based on that style, right? So when let's turn this off over here. This is also something like you can turn things on and off on the fly. Let's click on Q prompt here, and then we will render this. You can also see with the things that are getting green, those are the things that are active at that moment. So the sampler is running right now, and we should have an image in seconds. There we go. You see? So this is the output based on these kind of 6 input images. I already made a video about that, Instant LoRa. And we got... Whoa, it jumped. Sorry, 1 second. We got this as an output. It's one thing I'm still struggling with is that it's not completely centered. That is one thing. You see the ears are cut off, stuff like that. That might have to do with the checkpoint I'm using, stuff like that, right? Yeah, for beginners it's too much. I just had this still loaded, so this is why I showed it right now. So let's make a new, let's clear this. Clear. Yes. Okay. So we're going to start very simple. One thing you can, over here on the right side, you can't see that. My big head is in the way. Let's put this up here. So here is click, clear, and then you can load and save different workflows if you want to, if you have files for that. And clear just like clears everything. Hi, Antara from Algeria. There we go. And when you double click, you have a search. So you can actually search for every kind of node you want to have. Here's a full list of all the nodes I have so far, because you can also easily install other nodes from other people. There's a lot of nodes out there that you can use, and then you just put them together. So for example, if you want to load, you see you type load, and then you have here checkpoint loader simple, right? You can load an image, you can load an image mask, you can load a LoRa, clip loader, and so on, right? There's a lot of different stuff here, but what I would suggest to you is that you can go to, let's close this one, we don't need that anymore. You can go to this page, the official page, ComfyUI examples, and there you find very easy nice examples to follow. You can also download them. So for example, here we have a very, no, this is LoRa. This is a very easy build for image to image examples, right? So here you can see we load a checkpoint, so we need to load checkpoint. So we go, 1 second. Ah, yeah, let me put this here. So we double click, load. Checkpoint, no, we don't have that. Okay, checkpoint simple loader. That looks good enough. And then we can load a model here that we want to use. You can also type here. Let's use ref animated for that. My kind of still my favorite model. And we can look here again. What do we need? We need a clip text encoder for the positive prompt and then a clip text encoder for the negative prompt. So that is pretty easy to do. So you click here, clip text encoder, first thing that comes up. Like that, and then you can simply copy that with Control-C, Control-V, so you have another one, and there you go. Now we have 2 clip text encoders for the prompt. If you want to, you can rename them or not. I thought you can, I'm not quite sure right now. You can give it some description or not, properties. Ah yeah, here you can rename it positive prompt, negative prompt if you want to in the properties here. But you don't have to, usually you see it, right? So each model has an output for a model, for a clip, and for a VAE in case that the VAE is baked into the model, right? So you just connect this here and connect this here, and easy, right? Super easy, easy to understand. It has color codings for the ins and outs, you know where they go. It's pretty easy, right? Title, do we have a problem with the title? Oh, for the live stream? No. ComfyUI basics live stream? No, probably something else. All right. I also had to download ComfyUI the other day. Also, I think it's for beginners. Just joined. IP adapter only takes a center square. Yeah, with IP, you can actually go away. You can actually get away with less images for the thing I showed you before with the instant LoRa. It's the IP adapter. Yeah. All right. I can also, by the way, I can also scroll in and out. So this is also good for people with, yeah, I don't know, with who have a small screen or not so good eyes or stuff like that. So this is very, very flexible, as you can see. Okay, what do we need next? Next, we need a case sampler. This is all of the kind of settings you have in Automatic 1111 and even more choice than that. So we go back here, we double click. There's already the case sampler. There we have it, right? So here you can see positive, negative, and it has an orange button. So that means this is what we need, the conditioning from the clip text encoder, right? Super simple, right? So this is our positive prompt, and this is our negative prompt. So we simply connect that, and boom, there we go, right? Okay. So in here, you can see you have a seed number. You have the way the seed number is created. So in this case, randomized, or it's fixed, increment, or decrement. So increment is basically count up, decrement is count down. So we leave it at randomized. You can have here the steps, the CFG scale, the sampler. You have a long list of sampler. You can also have a search here through the sampler list. And you can see these are only the sampler types because you have also below that, whoops, 1 second. Below that, you have also here a scheduler, right? So here you have, for example, normal, Keras, exponential, SG uniform, simple, DDIM uniform, right? So when you go into Automatic 1111, they're usually automatically combined for you. So for example, that you have DDM, this down here, DPM++, 2M Keras, for example, right? But here you can choose it in any way you want to use it, right? So you have more flexibility in playing around with that, right? Talked about the box title. Oh, yeah, you can change the title. Yes, there we go. Renaming can be done in title. Yes. Right. All right. So that's also very basic, like very, very similar to what you see inside of Automatic 1111. The cool thing is here you can click and then move your mouse left to right to basically, how do you say, scroll through the values. So you don't have to type them. You can also use these kind of arrows here if you want to. So it's all set up pretty easy. You can double click and then I can just type a number in here, hit enter. It's now in there. So yeah, it's very like easy to use basically, right? So let's see what we need next. We need a VAE decoder. And this is also the benefit here is that you learn a little bit more about how does AI image generation actually work. Because first, this is, so basically your text is using the clip encoder to convert it into the information that the sampler needs. And then you create this latent image. As you can see here, it says latent, the latent image, but the latent image is not a pixel image. You can't see that. It's latent information that only the AI can understand. Basically, you can understand it like the ones and zeros on your hard drive. And then it's converted into pixels when you want to look at an image, right? So the VAE decoder is doing that for you, right? So for that, we need a VAE decoder. Let's go here, VAE decode. So we have that, and then we need a VAE that we can load separately unless it's already part of our checkpoint. So that's easy. And then here we have an image output. So for that, we simply type image, preview image, for example, which does not save the image. It only previews it. If you want to save the image, you need to have a save image file here. We can actually do that. Let's delete that. Let's go image again, save image. So now upon the generation, the image is automatically saved. So we connect this here, we connect this here. And then what else do we have? We have here the model. This goes here to the model, obviously. The latent image is the resolution of the image you want to have, right? So for that, we need kind of an image size, which I'm not quite sure. Get latent size, image, get image, not. 1 second. No, I want to set that. I think we need a number for that. I kind of forgot how that works. 1 second. We need a number here. Sampling, loaders. Empty. Oh, empty latent. That's a good point. Empty. Yes, empty latent image. There we go. Thank you very much for that. Thank you very much. I was stuck a little bit. So here we put that in here, and then you can set the value here for the width, for the height. Let's set this here to 765, or is it 56? 765? Let's just keep it like that. Batch size is 1, and then we also need to load a VAE loader over here. So we go with this one here, 84,000 steps, which I kind of prefer. And then you just connect this over here. You can also bring the node over here to make the line a little bit shorter. And then you can simply write the text you want to have, right? Beautiful woman in a red dress. Let's see what we get from that. I don't have any negative, or let's write a little bit more. Masterpiece, and then we go back down here and write bad quality, deformed, ugly, nude also. Whoops, that didn't work. Nude, and then not safe for work. Let's hope that works. Let's click here on Q prompt and see what I get from that. You can see here it's loading the model first, and then it's already like rendering here, and boom, we are done. There we have the image. You see how quick that was also? It took me 1 second to get an image. 1 second. There we go. On a 4080. So let's go here, make 8 images. Let's see how long that takes. Boom. Rendering. And encoding, and we have 8 images. There we go. Boom shakalaka, with a resolution of 512 by 768. We have 8 different images rendered, each at 1 second. That is a lot faster than what you have also in Automatic 1111, because this is lightweight. We don't have all of the extra crap, right? We don't have ControlNet and Roop and all kinds of extra extensions loaded. We only have loaded what we need loaded at that moment, right? So that makes it very, very easy and lightweight, right? So yeah, that's the easy thing here. By the way, I guess I want to go to Civid AI. There we go. And then let me find ref animated, because I want to get a better negative prompt, because mine is kind of not so great and I haven't saved it anywhere. So we take this one, and then let's do some magic here. Put it in here. Let's set this back to 1. And now it should look a lot better. Let's see. Boom, we are done. Hello. Look how good that looks, right? And then, of course, you can upscale that also. So this is, by the way, this is just like the low resolution right now, which also looks pretty good, I would say. Sorry, I should also look at the 768. Yeah, I guess it's so, right? You can drag from the latent image also. You can drag what? A little tip for you want to make this part easier is to use the efficiency nodes extension. It has most of these nodes combined into 1 or 2. Yes, right. There's a lot of different like collections out there of different nodes that combine nodes together, make the workflow simpler. You also can download workflows from Simplified AI. So when you type here ComfyUI workflows, you did it work? There's a manager here that's also pretty good. There you have different packs here, custom nodes, and so on. Workflows. There you see. You can download different kind of workflows that have been created by the community for you, that do different kind of things. And you can just like play around with them. You can learn from them. So all of that can help you a lot, right? Now, okay, let's have some fun here, right? So what I want to do here is I want to use the same negative prompt, but I want to use different positive prompts at the same time. Let's just use this as an example, right? So I'm gonna copy basically, one second, I'm gonna take these parts here, and then I'm simply going to copy that. Okay, that didn't work. Let's try this individually. It doesn't matter. Go like this. So now we have it twice, all of it. Now I go, I go down here, I go over here, just to give you a custom workflow that you could build as just an idea. It's the same resolution, it's the same model. We go the latent image in here, we load the same VAE, we have the image output here. So now we have down here, what are we gonna do? Beautiful man in a black dress. No, not black dress, black suit. There we go. Okay, so now when I hit this button, it renders both of them. You see? Boom, the woman is ready, the man is ready. There we go. We have both of them. I clicked only one button, right? And so with that, basically you can build like crazy machines that you want to have for your process, for the things you want to do. You can resize that. I just can't. There we go. You can also use the one image as the input for the next image. That's also no problem, right? So I can use this image as an input for image-to-image render. So that's also possible, right? Most workflows are too complex. Yeah, in that case, just like go backwards through the process and just look how they are connected. Because most of them use kind of the same stuff. And also you can go on Discord, ask people if there is like nodes you don't understand. Just ask them, what do these nodes do? Why are they used in this and that way? But with this, as you can see, you can just like really adapt it to the kind of thing you want to create with that. Let's make another combination here. There you go. Another guy, another woman. Boom. Super easy. Just one click. It's not upscaled yet, but yeah, you can do that kind of thing, right? Or we can go in here and say, oh, you have a beautiful, she's standing in a park. Standing in a park. And then let's put the same thing here. And then we put this standing in a street, right? So you can be experimental with that. And with that, you can just build it for the workflow you want to do. Now, this, of course, is not the same woman. If you want to have the exact same woman, you can have it like with a Laura, for example, stuff like that. Yeah, but you can like you can do like 10 others of these and then just have an output. And with these kind of simplified nodes, that's one of you mentioned before, you don't even have to do the full process by copying all of these kind of things, because some of the nodes have multiple of these combined, and then it gets a lot easier, right? Efficiency nodes, yes, right, the efficiency nodes, right. We can actually, let me copy that over. We can have a look here onto that. 1 second. There we go. You see? So that's that. Installing is also very easy. I think you just like download it and put it into the extensions folder, and then you restart ComfyUI, and then you have that. So you can see in this case there goes the here is the input already combined for the model you need, the VAE you need, the clipscape, the LoRa strength, no, the LoRa model strength, the LoRa clip strength. You have a prompt here, negative prompt. You have the width, the height, and the batch size, and all of that is then going into like this bigger case sampler that also has this kind of like image preview in it, right? So a lot of that is happening at the same time with these kind of nodes, right? So yeah. You can do a lot of things with that, right? You can actually, we could try that, but I want to show kind of the basic ComfyUI thing that might look a little bit more complex at the moment, but just to give you, like, get you started, right? Let's play a little bit more with the basics here, and then we can use custom nodes, right? How about that? Use groups and you can bypass group nodes. Group nodes? What do you mean by that? Is missing or a model is... The problem is when a node for a workflow is missing or a model is missing, you start with the exception and nothing will work. I would suggest to you to install the manager, which you can also find here in ComfyUI. 1 second. ComfyUI manager. Does it work? Does it not work? 1 second. ComfyUI manager. There we go. ComfyUI manager. So with this, when you have something from GitHub, the only thing you need to do is to go into the extensions folder the custom nodes folder inside of ComfyUI, and then you type cmd and then git clone and use the web address from the GitHub, and then all of this is copied over. And what this does is if you open up an install, if you open up a workflow that does have nodes that you don't have, you click here on the manager and then you say install missing custom nodes. You click on that and it will show you what's missing, and then it has an install button next to that. So most of the time this gives you the nodes that you don't have, and then you close ComfyUI or you restart ComfyUI, and then basically that should work, right? Alternatives of automatically leveling. I haven't clicked on that. Maybe there's even some workflows in here. I don't know. So yeah, that's pretty cool. What else do I want to show you? Let's go back here. So here we have image to image. Here we have a VAE encoder. We don't even need that. And then goes in here and then goes in here. Oh yeah, so we can do that. So if you look at this kind of thing and you understand it a little bit, it's easy to just like get your own ideas from that. So here, for example, you have an input image that then is encoded into a latent image. But because we already have a latent image, I can just use that, right? So we go back here. What do I want to do next? Okay. Instead of using the empty latent image from here, I'm now using the latent image. Oh, there's a second one. Sorry for that. Is there? Oh, no. Okay. I'm using the latent images coming out of here to put it in here, which means I have basically now image to image render, right? So let me set the denoise to 0.5 like that. And then we should have, now when I render it, we should have some pretty similar images. Let's check this out. Aha, they are basically the same image. The face doesn't look so good right now. Okay, we need to set this a little bit higher here. Let's go 7.5. Yeah. Oh no. Well, the woman changed now. Okay, so I was almost there. Let's go a little bit lower here. Try it again. Maybe the change I'm trying to do is a little bit too extreme. Let's go here and say a blue dress instead of a red dress. Let's go like that. Yeah, look at that. So you have kind of the same pose here, and now the dress is changing, right? Or let's go with the red dress and say, here we say blonde woman. Blonde woman. Maybe make this with double round brackets to make it a little bit stronger. There we go. Let's try that. Yeah, look at that. That looks pretty similar. Wait, do I still have city over here? Oh, so, okay. Park. All right, let's try this again. Yeah, look at that. So we have two similar, very similar images. Again, they are not upscaled yet, but we have, we should like use the same seed. That would also help, of course, right? That's true. Like if I use the same seed here and there, that would make, let's make this a fixed seed and then just copy this over to here and make this also a fixed seed. And then let's see what that looks like. There we go. Well, the background is still very different, probably because my denoise is a little bit high. Let's set this to 0.5. Didn't go a little bit lower here. Why is it? Am I crazy right now? 1 second. Let's go here, but higher. Interesting. So the background is getting sharper. Oh, I know what's going on. Case sampler, CFG scale. Let's make the CFG scale here a little bit lower. Set this to 3. Let's try this again. Interesting. Well, this is the usual like experimentation you do with AI just to figure out what's going on. I'm kind of confused why the background is getting so sharp for some reason in the second picture, but you can say they have the same pose. So usually this should work just fine. I don't know what's going on right now. Set this a little bit higher here. Scheduler. Cars exponential. No, normal should be okay. Set this to 3. The hell? Set it to 4. I'm clearly missing something here. Light image is coming out of there. Steps. Maybe, I guess it's because this is fixed. So let's set this to randomized. Yeah, there we go. The problem was that it was fixed. It uses the same seed on both images, and that's just not giving you a good result. And the faces look kind of shitty because I have the original resolution. I didn't upscale it yet, right? So we can also add that to it, right? And then it's fixed. But using the same seed on both images just gives you not a good looking result, right? Yeah. So there we go. That's pretty easy. And you can see also that this is using smart. It's using it in a smart way because this seed is fixed. It doesn't render this image at all. It only renders the second image because in the second image the seed is changing. So it checks what kind of resources do I need per render to only use the resources required. While on the other hand with automatic 1111, if you have the same seed, it's rendering the same image 10 times if you want to, right? Yeah. Where is Monkey when you need him? Who is Monkey? Who is that? How to download ComfyUI? Just like Google ComfyUI, I guess. Right? ComfyUI. And there you have it. It's the first link. And then you scroll down. And here it says installing ComfyUI. Click on that. And then here you have a direct download. This is a portable standalone built for Windows, right? So this should work on its own, but you need an NVIDIA GPU as always. And you need an extractor for a 7-zip file. WinRAR can do for that for you or anything else you want. So that should actually like work really well. Just download this file and run it, and that should actually work. Right? That should be everything you need to do. It's super, super easy to install, right? We can do, for these images, for example, let's add here a high-res upscaling. Let's go to the example, high-res fix. There we have it. Boom. So we check that out. We already have built most of the stuff, but we need this part, which I can't see right now because it's so small. We need an upscale latent and a case sampler. And I guess that's it. That's it. Like 2 things. Okay. Upscale what? Upscale latent. Okay, cool. So let's try that. Don't we need an upscale model? Oh, the upscale model is loaded with this, right? Upscale method. Okay, cool. Let me go back here and then we type in here. Whoa, hello, my friends. A little bit big. What? What's going on right now? Oh, I'm zoomed in. I'm sorry. That's my upscale, latent upscale. That looks good. Yes. Oh, that's a method. Should be good enough. Okay. And then we need another case sampler. We already have that over here. Bring it here. So for that, we're going to take the output of this latent image. And then we're going to put... no, sorry. We take the output in here and then put it in here. And then... No, this is not it. This is not a high-res fix, is it? You can download it. Yeah, but I want to show people how to build it, right? The model for the case sampler. We can try that, but it's kind of like something is missing here. High-res fix, no latent upscaling. More examples. Can we have this? Ah, ESRGAN upscale. This is what we need. So what we do here, decode, we have an image, we send it to load upscale model, upscale image using model, and then an ups using upscale. Okay. Good. So what do we need? We have already decoded it. We need to load the upscaler. So let's delete this and let's delete this. Load. Where is it? Load latent. Upscale model loader. There we go. I want to use this one. Let's go with this one. That's good enough. Okay, what else? What else do we need? Where is it? There we go. Okay, next one. Upscale image using model. All right. Okay, let's do that. Upscale. Image upscale with model. I think. Yeah, the nodes have different names than anyways. Okay, and then what do we need? Upscale, downscale. You can technically downscale it afterwards also if you want to, but actually let's have here image preview. Let's put this in here. So what is happening inside of automatic 1111 is that this is upscaled by the value you see here. So if you ever wondered why does it say 4x, because the model is actually upscaling to 4x and then you downscale it to the size you actually want to have, right? So in this case it's a 4x upscale and it looks like shit, so we did something wrong. Okay, this didn't work. I'm missing something here. Where's the denoise also for that? Bilinear upscaling method, upscale image. Am I stupid today? I didn't use it for a long time, to be honest. Wait, is there more steps included here? We have to encode it again? The model? Using this model? 1 second. This is not the complete process? I thought it is. Let me see. Preview image. Open image. No, this is like really upscaled. It's just not, it didn't improve anything of the image. You can use upscale with model node. Encode, but it's already like an image. So what are we going to encode here if it's already an image? That's kind of confusing, but okay. Let's just build what they built. So we have here upscale image, which is then setting the size. Let's do that. Is that what it is? No. Pixel? No. 1 second. Let me see here. Sampling image. Upscaling. That sounds good. Upscale image. Upscale image by. Nearest. Bilinear. Wait, let me check this out here. 2 times. Oh, but this, okay, this is something else. 1 second, 1 second. Upscaling, upscale image. This is something different. Man, sorry, 1 second. This is what we need. Okay, cool. So now we're gonna put this in here, and then what are they using for that? Bilinear. Bilinear. Let's set this to 1024. 1024 by 1536, right? If I'm correct. Crop disabled. Let's see what we get from that. Let's render this real quick. Downscale. What's happening? Decode. Yeah, this is we don't need that part down here. Okay, let's go on. So we have that. Downscale 0.5. You need downscale after the 4 upscale 0.5. Okay. We decode. So encode. Then we have here case sampler. I don't understand why they encode it first and then decode it again. That's kind of my question right now, but I guess they have their reasons. So 1 second. For this, I need my VAE, which is here. And then I need my prompt, which is here. Wait, let me zoom out a little bit. And my negative prompt. And then also my model. And then this looks like this is everything. Oh, let's set this to 0.3. Because K-sampler needs latent node. Right. Oh, I missed one VAE. 1 second. There we go. We can delete this part here. So let's see. Ah, that already looks a lot better. Look at that. Beautiful. Very nice. Okay, cool. So now we have a nice image. Wow, that looks actually pretty good. Look at the nice legs and everything. Wow. So that's good. Also, the render time was pretty fast for an image that's upscaled. How long did it take? 6 seconds. 1 second for the image, 6 seconds for the upscale. I guess. Let me change the let me change this here to randomized again, so we get a randomized image, and then we go back here. Whoops, sorry. No, this did the same one twice. 1 second. Randomize. This is going in here. Yes, now we have a new image, 2 new images, and we have an upscale running. Boom, there's the upscale. So this is our low resolution image down here with the ugly face. And this is the high resolution image here with the nicer face. So that's pretty cool. Very nice details on the hands and everything. Wow. Pretty impressive. Let's look at the render times. So we have 1 second for the first image, 1 second for the second image, because I'm rendering a variation too. And then I have 6 seconds for the upscale, right? So for some reason it says here like almost like 12 seconds for everything. Yeah. Look at their nice arms. Yeah, pretty good, right? That's ref animated for you. Ref animated is really good with arms, right? So you're decoding an image, upscaling it, then encoding it into latent space again, and then let the K-sampler work with that upscaled image. Yeah, this is, I'm not quite sure why this is happening with the upscaling and downscaling and stuff, and why we need to K-sample it again when it already ran through this, but no matter, it's okay. If that's what needs to happen, that's okay. By the way, I kind of want to see what happens if I don't use this. Let's just connect the image here without the upscaling model and see what happens then. So we don't use the upscale model. We just set it to double the size and re-render it with the case sampler. How does it look? It looks good, right? Did it change anything? Let me open this. So this is what we got. The hand is ugly, I give you that. Okay, and now we reconnect it. Gonna use the same. Was this the same? The same seed, I guess, right? So let's try this again. Ah, no, it's making a new image. Okay, let's try this again. One moment. So here we got this result now. Okay, open. And now I kind of not use the upscaler here and set it directly to this without the upscaling model. Let's try it again. Let's run it again. And I mean, okay, I guess with the upscale model, wait, which is, yeah, with the upscale model, it has more details, so that's good to know. You see, like, this is pretty nice, but it's also kind of like blurry. And this is with the upscale model. You can see like the face and the hair has more details. So that is what that does. You see also the clothing has a lot more details, looks much nicer. So this is what this kind of in-between step with the upscaling thing does. Interesting. That's interesting to know. Okay, cool. By the way, what time is it? Oh, 52 minutes. Okay, wow, we covered a lot of stuff in that time, huh? It's crazy. Invoke do behind the curtain. Yeah, that's, yeah, what automatic 1111 does behind the curtain, right? Yeah. But here you have full control. You learn the process. You can build it any way you want, right? So that's pretty interesting. I really enjoy this kind of process of understanding what is AI doing at what step and how do I actually use it, or what's the result at that point that I'm getting from that, right? So that is pretty insane, right? And then, of course, you can have the same thing for this to just put it basically over here. And another thing you can do here, one moment. I think we can combine all of these together like that. One second. And then I put here a group. Oh no. Like that, and I drag out the group. So now this is together. You can see I can move this around. Now, first of all, right click, I can bypass this, so it's not used anymore. I have turned it off. If I render now, you can see if I click here, it's going to render the image down here, but not up here. It didn't render the other one because it was fixed, but let's set this to randomized again. You can see now it renders. Why does it always not render the randomized here if I don't change the number also? Okay, now it works. You see? Boom. We have two images, but there's no upscaling here. And I can turn it on again by set group to always, and then it's on again. I think. Can I copy a group? Apparently not. I think I thought I can just like duplicate it. Bypass, edit group, color, remove, font size, color. Is there no way to duplicate a group? Because that would be kind of nice. Bypass. Apparently not. I thought that's kind of possible. Yes, you can copy. How can I copy it? How can I copy a complete group with all of the nodes inside of it? Because Control-C, Control-V didn't work for me right now. Clone? How do you clone it? Control-C, Control-V? Didn't copy anything for me. Still here. Alt drag? No, also Alt drag doesn't work. Control drag doesn't work. S tier, no, this also doesn't work. It's the same as control. A clone, how do I clone it? There's no clone command in here. Shift click? No, also doesn't work. Shift click doesn't work. So maybe it doesn't work, I don't know. Hold the control key and then mark with mouse. And now? Oh. No, this only like it copied the nodes, all of them. Shit, now I have all these nodes sticking here. Yeah, it copied, oh god. Copied all of the nodes for me. But not the group. I mean, kind of, but not in the way I wanted to. Control C doesn't work. No, doesn't work. All right. Yeah, but from this you can basically just like, for example, have the second image come in here, and then you have to connect all of these kind of other nodes. By the way, you also have this here. 1 second. Utility. And then you have here the reroute. This little thing here, right? I can also copy that. So for that, I can, for example, put the VAE in here. And then I can put the model in here, like so. And now I can simply use that as a shortcut to not have to go up to the other place all the time, right? So I need also, I can have, let me copy these multiple times here. And then we take this as the positive, this is the negative. And then I can put this in here and here. So you can see it's getting a little bit complex. Yes, that's true. But if you build it yourself, you still have a lot of control. There we go. So now we get an upscale from the second image. Should be ready in a second. The first one is upscaling right now, as you can see. Boom, that's done. Beautiful image. Very nice photo, or like drawing of a woman standing by a tree. And then in a second, the second one should also come, unless I forgot something. Yes, I forgot something. Of course I did. Why not? There we go. Let's try this again. Select multiple nodes using control, but to move them, you use shift click. So here we have upscale of the first version. Boom, another beautiful image. Look how nice she holds the skirt. Wow. Is there another thing missing? Oh, no, it's not. Okay, cool. And here we have the blonde woman. Wow, look at that. It's a very similar dress, very similar setup. Because we're using image to image, we upscale afterwards. Crazy. Really nice. I like that. Crazy. Like, of course, like small details are different. You can also like play with that. You can go crazy detailed with these kind of things if you want to, right? But that's already like very, very, very nice. Look at the hand, how it's holding this. That's crazy. I mean, here it's a little bit like missing detail, but wow, that's just so beautiful. Crazy. Okay. What else do we do? Mark. You can also mark the node, then RM, and put it into a template. You are much faster. What is RM? What do you mean by RM? RM is what? I can put it back down here. And then I can, for example, put these here. And then turn this into a second group, right? Add group. Like so, zoom out. I take this, I put it over everything. I can go here. I can then recolor the group. Let's set this to yellow. And so I know that these are my two upscalers. I can put them on top of each other like that. And so you can also just like stay organized if you want to. Oh, RM, right mouse. Really, right mouse. Okay, cool. Interesting. Let me try that real quick. What can you do? Like this, 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 and then right click. And now I do what? Mark the node RM into a template. Oh, I can align them, color them, pin them, shape. There's different shapes apparently. Properties, save image. I don't see any template thing. It was the right mouse button. Collapse, which, yeah, you can also collapse them, by the way. Hey, you picked up a 3090. Wow, nice. Very good. I don't see that right now. RM on the desktop. On the desktop? Oh. Align. Oh, save selected as template. Oh, look at this. Okay, cool. So let's do this and let's call this upscaling. All right. And now what do we do? Right click. Ah, templates, upscaling. Boom shakalaka. There we have it. Very nice. Thank you very much for that. They even have the same kind of like positioning as I had them before. And by the way, if you already know what's going on, up here, this gray button that you can see here, this is for collapsing it. So when I click there, you can see it becomes this kind of teeny tiny node here. So you can, for example, say, I don't need all of that kind of stuff because I know what's in there. The decoder is not important. This is not so important. You put all of that up here, and then you just build yourself a nice little interface. Let's put this down here. Organize this a little bit like so. There you go. Put this over here. And just like that, you have yourself a little like compact build. You see? Much easier than this one here, right? Much nicer. And of course, then you can also have these kind of, what I showed you before, what you showed me before, better said, these nodes here that are called efficiency nodes, right? So you can also use that. Yeah, the templates are actually a very nice trick. I like that. Right? So that is, all of that is very, very useful. I would say we download this now. Let me switch here to the big view real quick, just to be able to prepare that for a second. One moment. Okay, that's already downloaded. Let's unpack this. Extract. What do we have here? I guess this simply goes over into the, let me copy this. ComfyUI, let me find that real quick. I have so many folders already. Custom nodes. Yeah, that looks like the same thing. Put it in here. Should work like that. Okay, cool. So here you can see it. I'm inside of my ComfyUI folder. This is the content of the zip file that I just downloaded. I just put it into the custom nodes folder. And then to load them, I have to restart ComfyUI. That's the only downside. It doesn't like load new nodes on the fly. You have to close this down. You go to the base folder, and then you just restart run NVIDIA GPU bed. And this might download some extra stuff in the meantime for the new. You see here it does some installing, and boom, we are already back. And now I should have these kind of new nodes in here. There, efficiency nodes. You can see it down here. And there we have these kind of like a lot of more nodes now that we can use for doing all this kind of stuff. We even have an X epsilon input. That is pretty cool, right? Like in ComfyUI. Or XY input, as you say. I say epsilon because that is how we say it in German. There we go. Look at that. Pretty cool. Sampling, case sampler efficient. Look at this. There we have it. The model. Let me zoom in here. Model, positive, negative, latent image, optional VAE, script if you want to, model output, conditioning plus, conditioning minus, like positive, negative, latent output, VAE output, image output. Boom, all of that in one thing. And then down here, you have the sample state? I don't know what the sample state is. You have the seed, randomize it, or last queued seed, the steps, the CFG scale, the sampler name, the scheduler, the denoising, the preview method, and the VAE, the VAE decode. The only thing I'm missing here is the preview of the image, which was shown over here. It might have been a different one. K-sampler efficient, because this shows an image down here, but maybe if we use it, it also shows an image down there. So I would say let's reconnect this stuff here and then just see what we get from that. So here we connect the model, the positive and the negative, the empty latent image, the VAE script we don't need at that point. What happens if I click Q prompt? Does it render anything? It does! Holy shit. What? What's going on here? How many? Oh, it rendered 2 images for me. Wait, is there... Where's the batch size? Did I miss something? Why did it render 2 images for me? And why are they different quality? Oh, is this already split up in like high frequency, low frequency? Is that what I'm getting here? Is that what I'm seeing right now? This is high and low frequency for this kind of other render thing that I completely forgot about, but I made a video about it. Did I make a video? No, I didn't make a video about it. It's for FreeU, right? With the low frequency. But we need to like have an image output here. So let's go here, image, preview image, put it in here. Let's see what happens. Have you the SDXL sampler? No, I don't. Aha, so now we get a normal image as an output, and then we can also upscale it, right? So that's pretty cool. Wait a second. So the manager doesn't work. Why doesn't it work? It's a JSON file you open from load. For example, loading multiple LoRa's. Why do you dislike loading multiple LoRa's? I don't understand. Like with these kind of simplified nodes or compact nodes, you can also load multiple LoRa's in a single node, right? So that makes things a little bit easier. Let me connect this to here so that we have an upscale from that. Just render it again. Oh, we have a render animation also. I like this. Beautiful. Okay, so now we get this here. Oh, this is also animated now? What's happening right now? Magic. Oh, look at this. Beautiful lady. Ooh, nice dress. Very nice. Okay, cool. So this worked. That is amazing. And why does this suddenly have a preview? Did the other K samplers had a preview before? Am I like stupid or what? Okay. Huh. Anyways. What do we have here? High-res fix script. Ooh, high-res fix script. Ladies and gentlemen, 1 second. High-res fix script. Are you kidding me right now? Upscale by 2. Toodaloo. Nearest. Can we high-res steps, denoise? Really? Is that working right away? 1 second, let me deconnect this. And then maybe, wait a second. Let me turn these things here off for the moment. Let me put them in a group here. No, go away. Like this. Bypass. Okay. Let me check this. Is this a high-res fix without an upscaler? No way. Oh, no, it isn't. Is it? It is high resolution, so it does do upscaling. It doesn't really fix anything. Did I close it? No, I didn't. Okay, cool. Set is to 25 steps. Euler, schedule normal, denoise, auto, preview mode, decode, high-res steps. Wait, when we set them to 0, does it mean it's the same? No, it's probably not the same, right? Let's set them to 25 too, and then set this to 2.5. 2.5. Didn't like that. Okay, let's go here. Set this to 6. One moment. You should check out next time the ComfyUI notes for Rock of Fire and Akasuzi. Hey, Akasu, isn't she in my like Discord? I think you're using the upscaler of LoRa and stack. Ah, yes, right. Okay, let me check this. I mean, it might be that this preview is already the upscaled version. I'm not quite sure. Because this doesn't look any better at the moment. Let me note this down. ComfyUI. I will make a note of that. One moment. Okay. Thank you very much. Triple Head Monkey. Hi, how are you doing? I didn't even read the username. Thanks for joining. There we go. Man. When I click here, it opens up this kind of like admin tool, which I don't need. I just want to copy the text. There we go. Sorry for that. Okay, cool. You need to change the sampler state to script. Go to Manager, Preview, TAESD. What does that do? Preview method. Oh, okay. Interesting. What do I need to set to script? Sorry. Sampler state to script. Ah. Ooh la la. Let's see what this does. So it's doing its thing again. Now I set it to be linear. I don't know if this is the right choice or not. So this is what we get over here, which already looks a lot nicer from the face. It just doesn't have enough detail. And this basically looks the same. So I guess that the thing that we get over here is already the upscaled preview. Let's open this up. Yeah, that's already the upscaled preview. This is why we don't see any difference between this image and this image. All right. But do I have the ability to use a, like, why don't I have the ability to use an upscaler over here, upscaling model for that? That would be nice, right? Let's go here and see from the efficiency nodes. Sampling, load, stack, misc, scripts, x epsilon plot, sampling, k-sampler advanced, optional VAE, script. Starts, step, end step. This does have some extra stuff in here. But strangely enough, none of them have anything that uses an upscaling thing, right? Loaders. Efficiency loader, what does this do? Clip skip, LoRa. Positive, negative, batch size. Because most likely you're upscaling the latent image, not the image. That is true. However, they could have built inside of this node a way where this is like, because here you can see I have an output for latent image. So why not have inside of here a way to put the you know, like in automatic 1111 I can use for the high-res fix and upscale model, which I can't select here. ComfyUI nodes have a multi-upscale stack with models. Wow. Okay, cool. I guess that's a little bit too advanced for right now. I just wanted to see what these kind of nodes do. However, you know what we're going to do right now? Let's go over here and just see what kind of stuff. Oh, it might be a little bit too much. I thought LoRa stack, ControlNet stack, apply ControlNet stack, MISC, unpack SDXL tuple. I don't even know what a tuple is. Script, accepts XY plot, XY input, image overlay. So I guess we still have to, at least for this moment, go with the method that we are not using this as a script. Instead, we are outputting this and then putting it in here, right? So we have the upscaling model from this one, which still reduces a lot of nodes, basically, with this. So it makes it... Oh, didn't like that, huh? Okay, I guess the reason for that might be... No, it should actually work. Try it again. I'm a bit confused what's happening right now. One moment. Randomize 5. This should all be okay, right? Because it's the same thing we used before. And then we have an image input here that comes from here. And these things down here we have turned off, so they shouldn't do anything. We can actually delete all of that stuff to make everything a little bit simpler here. Edit group, remove. Edit group, remove. Oh, shit. Okay, 1 second. Just get rid of some stuff here because we don't need that anymore. All right. So that already looks a lot simpler. Because it's 4x. No. We do the 4x and then we go here because this should output. This is outputting a 512 by 768 image, right? Oh, maybe because of this. Let's set it to auto. Oh, and then set this here to sample. Sorry, I was still set it to script. So now it should work actually. Yeah, it's working again. So you see? It was just like I set it to the wrong thing. That was the problem. Okay, so now let's have a comparison here. 1 second, bring it over here and see how they look. Yes, this is what we need. Look at that. The hands are not so great, but that's okay. Look at that face and then look at this beautiful face. Hello, hello, hello. All right. Very nice. This is exactly what we need. So it kind of like the bundle is missing a high-res kind of thing, at least as far as I can see. But probably there is some other kind of... Am I like crazy? Like here it says the model. What? Wait a second. Script, high-res fix. What? High-res fix script, latent upscale method, SD latent upscale version 1. So why do I not get that choice? This looks like an upscale model, right? Or am I wrong? SD latent upscale version 1. Or does this maybe this needs some stuff inside of the folder I didn't download? That might be the case. Let me check real quick. There's the repo. Currently a case sample efficiently loaded, blah, blah, blah. Simple notes, blah, blah, blah. No. Could combine the note with ultimate upscale. Right. So why can't I load this thing in here? This is the future. This is absolutely the future, because like I mean, if you go to other professional software, let's go for example for Blender notes. This is what the pros use, right? Here, this is a professional 3D software, and then this is what you use to set up how the materials behave while rendering, right? So yeah, if you want to be serious about that stuff, I guess you have to kind of figure out how to use nodes, because you need all the kind of control in there, right? This is like for the 3D program to show, like, define the ray tracing and the material and textures and all this kind of stuff with these kind of nodes, because it gives you so much more control and flexibility, and you can like build it exactly to what you need. So that's what's why this is so useful. I don't understand why I don't get the choice here to put something of my own. Kind of missing something here. I use both. We can do everything. Yeah, you can use both too. Yeah, 3D Max is using it. DaVinci Resolve is using it. Unreal Engine is using it, right? Everybody's using like nodes, because it's just like so much more flexible for what you want to do. And also because it allows everybody to like create other nodes for you, right? So is there like a, wait a minute. ComfyUI. Multi-upscale node. That sounds good. What do we have here? Oh, multi-upscale. Apply multi-upscale. Rounding modulus. Okay, that's, I don't know what that is. Load image, preview image. Rescale. This is like you can just go from this to this, and it's just like that? Really? Okay, we're gonna try that right now. Let me download. It's only 2 kilobytes. Wow, that reminds me of the good old age of like Amiga 2600. Wait a second. We need to go. Let me keep this open. Let me go here to the downloads. We have this. Oh, is this just like 2 JSON files? Let's do an extract here. And then I guess we're gonna copy this over there. Custom nodes. Just, I don't know. Let's just drop it in here, and then we restart and see what happens. Worst case, it doesn't load. Let me check this. What are they called? CR upscale. CR? No, it didn't load. Do I do something wrong here? These CR nodes are made by Akatsuzi. Yes. How do I install them? Like, do I put the JSON file just in here without the folder? Or how do I use that? Custom nodes. Do I put these just in the custom node folder? Load missing nodes. Yeah, but there's no missing nodes because I'm not using them right now, right? Click the load button, but then I have to load it manually. That's no fun. Are these builds? They are not. Oh, these are builds. They're not nodes. Do I still have them in downloads? Let's extract this again. Wait a second. Load? No, let's not load this. Let me open up a new ComfyUI so we preserve the old one. And then we load this. Downloads, ComfyUI, upscale. Template 1, template 2. Load image, batch. Oh, even batch loading. Okay, let's go to the manager. Install missing. Install. Takes a little bit. It's still installing, as you can see down here. What is this downloading? It's like crazy. Is it that big? I hope it's not like a 6 GB file or something like that. Hello? Nothing happening? Let me click on this real quick. It's not opening. Did it crash? Something is not right. Hit enter here. Doesn't do anything. The WAS node suite is big. Ah, shit. Okay. Not sure that was a good idea right now. Let's see if anything is arriving over here. Where is my folder? The hell? ComfyUI. There we go. Properties. 3 megabytes, that's it. Empty, This might not have been a good idea to do that during the live stream. Comfy role, custom nodes, rock or fire. Maybe we close this. Being updated and update to custom nodes are being checked for. Update only check for extensions have been fetched. What do we do now? I mean, I can close it and just delete it, or just like restart it. This is the good thing about ComfyUI, because it's running in this kind of extra folder with these custom nodes. It's basically nothing happening bad. If you just break it, you just delete the folder. Uninstall. Should we uninstall that? Let's uninstall it for now. There's a lot of errors. Okay, let's close this. Sorry, 1 second. Give me one more try, and then if it doesn't work, we're just gonna do something else. Are you kidding me right now? All right. Maybe because the browser windows are still open. I'm not quite sure. Let me close all of that. Yeah, so something is still using that folder for some reason. I don't know. Even though I closed the command window. All right. What's the time, by the way? 1 hour, 29 minutes. We can still go back to this doesn't work, this doesn't work. We can still, this doesn't work. Yeah, we can still go back to this one. Let's reload it. And we still have that. Let's check it if it's still running. Boom, boom, boom. Rendering. First image done. Second image done. Did I not have the... Oh, okay, but I can just load it. Oh, there it is, the other one. Okay, cool. Let's try this also. This is, by the way, this is also a benefit of ComfyUI, is you can have different workflows loaded in different windows, and then they are just staying as they are, unless you do something crazy, or like close the tab, and then you still drag the image into it, right? So you can still do that, right? I also can show you that right now, 1 second. So I go here, I clear my canvas, clear, everything is gone, completely empty canvas. So now what I can do is I go to ComfyUI, I go to my output, and I have here my images that I rendered last. These apparently didn't work. We can delete them. And now I can just drag this image in here. And as you can see, it's loading my complete workflow from the image. Now this is the one, the other one, that's not what we want. The good question is, where's the one that, 1 second. Let me, for example, open up this image here, save that image on my download folder, and then I can go here. Let's go to download folder. That might be a little bit easier. And I drag this in here, and you can see it loads that build for me. And you can also see like how much simpler this one is with this like compressed, efficient case sampler. And we didn't even use the input for the prompt here. So we can do that right now. I right click, go to nodes, I go to efficient nodes, and then I have here the case sampler, the loader, stacker, LoRa stacker, we forgot about that. MISC, unpack, scripts, inputs. Doesn't this have like a input for the prompt? Yeah, it has. Efficient loader. Okay, it's called efficient loader. Let me go back here. So I go here and there, and then the loader, efficient loader. So now I load here ref animated. I can type this up here, ref animated. Then I'm using the VAE. It's all in here. LoRa we don't use at the moment. Here's the positive negative prompt. I can put the positive one here, the negative one down here. This is my latent size. This is okay. This is a little bit overlapping. Sorry for that. 1 second. So here we go. 768. Batch size 1. Okay. So we have eliminated this one, this one, this one. It's all gone. This one is also gone. And then we connect this over here. Model, positive, negative, latent image, VAE. Is also in here. We have also deleted basically this one. Let me make a note over here real quick. Reroute. Yes, reroute. Put this in here. Put this in here. Connect this to here. Good. So now I can also delete this one. And we can also delete this one because that was just for the second negative prompt, right? And when I find a node that has all of that stuff here combined into one node, I only basically have 3 nodes left for all of the process. And another thing we can do here is we close these down here like that. The preview we need. This we don't need, so I put all of that over here in this corner. Like so. Put that here, put this here, put that here, make it bigger, like so maybe. And then I can put this here. So we have a compacted group also. And so now we have this, right? And that, I would say that looks super simple, right? This is not too complex compared to the kind of little bit monster we had before. I can put this also in here if I want to. Let's put it here maybe. So now when I click on render, oh, this is missing something. 1 second. The model goes here, the positive goes here, the negative goes here. There we go. Connected. And it's already rendering. And boom shakalaka. There we have it. This is our low resolution image. This is our high resolution image. Face could be a little bit nicer, I would say, but yeah, pretty cool. Look at that. Look at these the nice dress and everything. Looks very, very good. Very, very nice. Okay, cool. So we have everything in here. with just that build. How great is that, huh? 93 minutes ago. What was 93 minutes ago? When did the stream start? No, the stream started 1.5 hours ago. Oh yeah, that's 93 minutes. Yeah, that's true. That's okay. Yes. Yeah, so I would say that looks very tidy. I guess I should like maybe include that in a video, because I was thinking about making a video of like maybe like 10 reasons why you should use ComfyUI, and that might be more convincing than showing that kind of behemoth of like 50 different nodes connected. Although when you start out, I would still kind of argue to use the basic nodes at the start just to check out what is like each node doing, and then use the simplified version. But maybe that's just old school talk and you don't really need that. By the way, another thing, you can upscale this, you can make it bigger, so now you can actually see the positive and negative prompt in here, right? Okay. What is a convincing reason? Automatic 1111, but what about ComfyUI? Doesn't it also have its own challenges in terms of usability? Well, it in the sense of usability, I would say with ComfyUI, if I answer that, I would say it has a steeper learning curve because of all the stuff you see here, and because there is like a ton of different nodes you can use. However, once you have worked yourself into the process, you can build some really interesting, crazy things with that, and like pretty like complex processes, stuff like that, and also things you can't really do with automatic 1111. Like one thing I haven't showed you before, but I do have a video about that on my channel, which is called Latent Tricks, where you can go and where you can check out this thing that I'm showing you from here, area composition, this one here. So there's two things. The one is area composition. The other one is basically similar to that. So you can see here, this is an image with a sky like galaxies. Then we have here a nice sky with a sunset and clouds. Then we have here landscape, right? So these are basically three different images that are afterwards rendered together into one image. And this is what is happening here with the process. Now, of course, you can imagine if you use these simplified nodes, then you don't have to have this kind of like massive complexity in here that you have. But also when you start out and you just look at the prompts, you can see at the nodes, sorry, when you look at the nodes, you can simply see that these are the different prompts. So it's kind of easy to understand what's happening here. And then you have here something that's called conditioning set area. So this is basically the area of the image that's going to be rendered in that kind of from that prompt, right? So that's also kind of easy to understand. So here you can see that the image has a size of 704 by 384, but also this has a XY coordinate of 0, 0, and then down here you can see that the XY coordinate is 0, 320, and down here you can see it is 0 for X, and for Y it's 512, right? So from that you can easily imagine that this is rendering the first image, the other one is on top of that, and the next one is on top of that, right? So different areas of that, right? And then you can see this is then combining these two images and then combining the combination of two images into this with the last one here, right? And then afterwards, this is then rendered. It's going down here into a sampler to render this. And then afterwards, it's rendering everything again over here with the complete prompt describing everything into the complete image rather than just the individual images, right? Yeah, so just by looking at the prompts, it's like not super hard to understand what they do. There's some extra prompts down here, so I didn't explain everything, but you can kind of see that the process is not that difficult. And another thing you can see here, by the way, is we saw this one, which is pretty cool with landscape only, but you can also render a high quality, high resolution character on top of the landscape afterwards, right? And the way this is rendering, or the way this is working, is if you have the latent image and it's rendering the first steps, basically what it's doing is it's turning noise into an image. So the way that diffusion works, this is also where the name comes from, diffusion, is the AI learned to turn an image into noise and then try to turn a very similar image from the noise back into an image, right? So when you do the diffusion, you start with the noise, that is the seed, and then turn it into an image by arranging basically the noise, kind of an easy way to understand that. So you sort the noise a little bit. So when you preview that, you can already see kind of like a little bit of that girl and a little bit of the landscape. So you prepare these different areas and then combine them afterwards and render all of that together as a prepared noise, so that this already has a setup. And the reason why it's done in this way is because then you can have a different prompt for that part and different prompt for this part, different prompt for that part. So the AI is not getting confused. And then on top of that, a different prompt for the girl, which is describing everything here. And then afterwards, everything is combined with the noise that is already prepared for the process, right? Might sound a little bit complex, but it's not that complex actually, right? What does the chat do right now? I don't want to talk here. Let's see. There's Roop for ComfyUI. Roop, IP adapter, control net, everything is available. Yes, like all of the things are available in ComfyUI, and they are often most like earlier available in ComfyUI for the reason that, yeah, the community can build the nodes in any way they want, because ComfyUI is basically just a sandbox. You can put in here whatever you want in this kind of environment. And just use it, right? So if you find a new technology and you're good with coding, or you know how to use or create nodes with ChatGPT or things like that, you can do custom things in here, right? Yeah, and then just use them, because this is completely open. This is the kind of like advantage compared to Automatic 11.11. What else do we have here? The answer for sufficient. How strong is the video production? Ooh, I guess maybe Triplehead Monkey knows about the video production, because I have to admit I have never done a video with ComfyUI, but I'm pretty sure that is possible too, right? It's just a code method. It's very easy to implement. There you go. Okay, right. What else do we have here? Has visual conditioning area, which makes it so much easier. I have a build of a seamless tile generator. Ooh, seamless tile generator. That sounds pretty good. Can I use multiple detailers in ComfyUI? Yes, basically you can, right? You can use multiple detailers. By the way, that is kind of an interesting thing. Like with the method that I showed you before. By the way, there's a different method in here that shows this even better. Noisy latent composition. This is what I mean. So here you have these characters. Now this is not 100% last time I checked it, because after all, at the end you have to use a prompt to render the rest of the steps. And now if you have here characters with completely different clothing, you might run into a problem a little bit, but you can use different detailers, or different LoRa's on these different characters and then render the image finished. That is one way you can do. However, another thing you can do inside of ComfyUI is you can also use masks. Do we have an example here for masks? In painting, you can do. You see, you can like mask that area out. And so you can just use as many different nodes or LoRa's or stuff you want to do. And also they are running one after another. They're not running at the same time. So yeah, that you can do this kind of process. And for example, if you would use ControlNet, you would already know where the face is. So you basically can prepare an alpha mask for that area where the face is going to be and then just replace it. Or of course, if you use a detailer is going to find the face for you and then replace it. However, I'm not sure about ComfyUI, but inside of Automatic 11.11, a detailer can identify different faces. You can number the faces and then render different LoRa's to the different numbers of the faces, right? So that way you can also like create different characters in one image with the same render method, right? With the same render process, right? Video production is currently behind on ComfyUI, but all the developers are just starting out this month or so releasing stuff. Oh, that sounds good. Okay, cool. Interesting. If you ever want to take a break from imagery, you can do a live stream or quick video on Ooga Booga. Yeah, I can do that. I experimented a lot with Ooga Booga in the past. Like now it's also very easy to install. Might be interesting. The only thing I have to admit is I just don't know what to do with Ooga Booga. Other than like writing your like personal kind of fictions, like short stories and stuff like that. It's really good at that. If you want to write any kind of story about any kind of character, that works fairly well. For other things like talking to it, like asking questions, stuff like that, I find that ChatGPT is much more powerful. Like there is not any model out there that is even remotely as powerful as ChatGPT. Of course, because ChatGPT is also a much bigger model, and you would need like a crazy computer or even a server to run that. So it's just not on the same level. That's kind of the thing. And the other thing is also the models you have for Ooga Booga are mainly English models. Like I tried to find one for German, not really good. Like they give you just always like crazy output. Like most of them is very focused on English language, while on ChatGPT it's very easy to have like all kinds of different languages, and it works very well. So yeah, I would say I could make a video on that. Why not? I could do that, but I have to talk probably also a little bit more about that with the community. Actually, with animated diffusion, you can make till 10 seconds of a video, but you need a very powerful graphic card. The animated diffusion or diffusion, I wasn't really like happy. They have a standalone version for that apparently works very well. I have never installed that. I used the automatic 1111 extension, and that didn't like really give good results. But maybe the ComfyUI version is better for that. I don't quite know. Yeah. So these examples here are not great, of course, that you can see here, but you can do masking and then render stuff into masks. What else do we have? Should I go to the big screen maybe? Let's go like this for a little bit. It's also like nearing the end of the stream anyways. SAM, what is SAM detector? Masks are created. Search workflow for Civet AI. Yeah, there's different workflows, different nodes you can download from on Civet AI. So Civet AI is a really good source for all like a lot of stuff for ComfyUI. Of course, also GitHub is pretty good. Do you want to check out for that? Check out what Troubleshooting is making in the Share AI art section of the Discord. On my Discord, or what do you mean? Is it on my Discord or another one? Troubleshooting? Segment anything. Oh yeah, that's also a call from the past. Oh, it's probably on my one. Okay, I will note that down. 1 second. There we go. I will check that out. Okay, cool. And then next week, I hope next Wednesday, we're gonna do the stage event again in my Discord, so people can show their works and stuff like that. That was also very interesting and useful. I still have a backlog from that, by the way, on stuff that I want to create on my channel. I had so much back pain this week. I couldn't do, like, I had a full night. I couldn't sleep. I was just lying on a hot what do you say, like water? What do you use when you're cold? Like you fill it with this like rubber thing you fill with hot water. I was just lying on that, and then the whole day after that was also bad. I still have back pain right now, but yeah, tomorrow gonna go to the doctor, get that checked out. But I couldn't do like videos for 2 days. It was just too crazy. He's a master of ComfyUI animate diffusion. Oh, okay. So I will check that out. That sounds very good. And that could be an interesting video. I'm not quite sure if my main community is into that, but I kind of like want to push people to try a little bit more, right? Because I mean, one thing with AI is if you expect a good artwork that is worthy of being an artwork from just putting a prompt, you're not going to go to the like highest levels of what you can achieve with AI. You just have to like, and even if you use all of these kind of extensions with ControlNet and so on and Automatic 1111, you can do a lot of stuff with that. So there's really good people who do like mainly their stuff with Automatic 1111, but you can also see from all of the other professional tools out there, like I said, with Blender, with DaVinci Resolve, with Unreal Engine, and so on, that they all use nodes because you can just build much more complex processes that then also render in one go. Because one thing that's important at that point is to understand the difference between doing it manually in ComfyUI, where of course you can say, well, I can go render the image, then I go to image, then I go to extras afterwards. There's multiple steps in between. Yes, that's possible, but if you see it as a workflow in front of you and how things influence the other things, first of all, it gives you a landscape, an overview of what is happening, but also it gives you a lot of hints of what you could do in between and the kind of connections that you can build. And a lot of these connections are not even possible inside of Automatic 1111, and that gives you a huge advantage in the sense of how can you actually play with AI. So the stuff we looked at today is fairly simple, but just like creating an image and upscaling is nothing special. You don't need ComfyUI for that, but you have seen the flexibility of the things you can do, and just leading, for example, latent images as an input into other stuff that you do. Like one thing we could actually we could do right now is to go from one model to the next model, right? So you can see, where's my mouse? There it is. Okay. Yeah, Discord arcade is cool. Hot water bottle. There we go. Life can be so simple if you don't try to overthink it. Where can I join? That's a good question. Let me find that real quick. I hope I get a link that works this time. I think last one it didn't really work, or it like expired or something. Invite people, edit link. No, it is on no limit and never. I don't know why that didn't work. Okay. 1 second. Whoops. There you go. This is my Discord server. You can join there if you want to. This triple head monkey is a mod there also, by the way. I think you are, right? Yes, you're a mod. There we go. And an expert also. There we go. Right, so that's pretty cool. Yeah, so we have very, very awesome people in there. Very nice. Okay, as a last thing, I guess we can check out the thing where we render the same image with different models. Just let me figure out how I do that real quick. Latent image, optional. Should be fairly simple. I give it a shot and we see if it works. 1 second. So the one thing I would do here is to just have a checkpoint loader simple. And I load here, for example, realistic vision, which I don't know if this is the newest model, but it doesn't matter right now. And then let me see. We're going to copy this, put it here. And then I'm just going to put this model here, and I'm going to use the latent image from here. And then we're going to just connect these things. Let me put this over here so it's a little bit simpler. Put that here, put that here. And then afterwards, the only thing we need to do, we can just put this. Well, actually, we don't need to do that right now. That should be enough. Yeah, I guess for the moment that's enough. Let's queue this up. So this is now loading realistic vision also. And there we go. You see? Already done. So I have this image and now it's transferred into, okay, the denoising is very high. Let's set this a little bit lower. Set it to, let's go with 0.4. Let's render this again. There we go. You see? So here I have the style of ref animated, and here I have the style of realistic vision. And of course, now we could upscale that. Okay, the question here is upscale image. I guess it comes in from here. Wait, I was a little bit messy before. Yeah, this should be the input. So let's put this in here. Oh. Wait, sorry. I was a little bit messy before. Now I don't know where what goes. Image. Oh no, it worked. Let me open this up. Yeah, that worked. Okay, cool. Let's put this back in here. Try this again. Now it's rendering. 1 second. Okay. Now we're done. No. Am I crazy right now? What's going on here? Oh. No, this is putting it in here. Come on. What's going on here? This is the VAE encode. Bring the picture from here to here. Oh. I see my mistake. 1 second. I put it in the model and then I put it back from the model again. I need to have the model from here. There we go. Okay, that's the thing that happened here. You can also combine SDXL and SD 1.5. That's true. That's another thing that doesn't work in Automatic 11.11. So you see, now we have this rendered in the style, like from the posing, colors, everything in the style of ref animated, but in the realistic style of realistic vision, right? So this is one thing you can do, right? Let's randomize this here and randomize this here. And then we do this again, so we get another image. So here you can see different image in the ref animated style, different image in the realistic vision style, but the same composition and colors. And now we do the upscaling. And then there we go. We have it as a realistic kind of photo. Of course, you can improve it. You have to play a little bit around with the denoise setting and pipapo, all these kind of things. We can go here a little bit higher maybe and get a better result from that. But like, of course, yes, you can do that inside of Automatic 11.11 also, but there you would have to go in between the text to image and the image to image render afterwards. And here you can see it as one flow, and that can get some more ideas from that, right? You can, for example, also like inject here different kind of prompts from that. To maybe change the image from a day image to a night image. You can create a whole series of images based on this kind of concept, right? Or you can render it in different kinds of like different kinds of models, stuff like that. So seeing the process, like the inspiration artistically is just that you see the process, and this gives you inspiration on the workflow and what could be done differently, or where things could flow creatively by reconnecting this in different ways, right? So that's basically the main point to take away from that, right? And that's like you can really like compare this for the way, for example, also modular synthesizers are used, right? Like if you have things like this, of course it looks like a mess. If you have this kind of stuff here, let's make it a little bit simpler with this here. But at the same time, you can combine all kinds of modules. You can connect them in any kind of way, and then you figure out in very short time things you never would have thought about connecting it in that way, right? So that makes it the interesting part here, rather than you have a fixed situation that can also give you a lot of sounds, but they also are limiting you in the way that you can use it. So you always think about it in the same kind of limited way, you know, if that makes sense. Anyways, yeah, that was kind of like pretty cool. Like you can do really interesting things with that, right? With this kind of model changing, model swapping. I call this model swapping, this kind of process. But yeah, you can do even more, right? Like you can, for example, of course, you can render an image. You can use it as an input for ComfyUI and then use the output from that as an input for something else, for a different model. That would also be a process, right? Instead of using the image directly, because then what you have is the composition that the model is creating, but you don't need, you don't use the colors or the clothing or stuff like that the model is trained on. And so you can switch it to another model and have the complete style of that model, right? There's a lot of different possibilities. All right, let me go back to the big screen here. Or should I keep that in the background? Is that nicer to look at that while I speak with you? There is modular synthesis node-based UI called Native Instruments. I love Native Instruments Reactor. I actually built multiple modules for that. Not modules, sorry, that's bullshit. I built multiple modular build-ups for that. We can actually look at that. 1 second. Let me see if we find that. My music. Oh no, these are the forums. That's not what I mean. Oh no, wait. Native Instruments. I think I use a different username. User library. Let me check this real quick. Accept all. How do I get to the user? Oh, there we go. Orbiter. Yeah, baby, look at that. Oh, Olivio Sarikas, there we have me. Orbiter 4MXL. This is built on, I think, only on noise, right? Based on noise generation, right? So this is built with these kind of reactor blocks. The input is not like sine waves or anything else. It's only noise as an input, but the sound is pretty cool. I actually have to open this up in my second computer so you can actually hear that. Wait, I'm gonna play that back for you real quick. And I'm gonna mute my mic so there's no feedback loop. 1 second so you can hear that. Sorry, I forgot to put on the sound. 1 moment. All right, there's even more stuff, but never mind. I think it has a lot of presets in there from the community. I think like 128 presets or something like that. I'm not quite sure. 2,000 downloads, not too bad. Okay, cool. 6 years ago. Wow, time flies. Crazy. VCVREC is also amazing, but I haven't done much with that, right? VCVREC is really cool. Yeah. It would be fun to do like a music live stream, but I don't think my community would be liking that. Because I really like all these kind of different like tools and synthesizers and stuff like that. Also like the Arturia collection with all the classic synthesizers, right? So that's pretty cool. Um, The sounds might not be so crazy, but it's interesting that it doesn't have any oscillators in there. So I thought like the presets have been a little bit like interesting. Like these are just like previews of the presets, right? It's not like supposed to be music. It's just showing you different presets. Oh, it says 200 presets right here. I'm blind, right? And you can do a lot more with that, right? And just the idea is not to use a classic synthesizer as everybody else with these kind of different waves, but like just noise, so you don't have to play around with the oscillator, you play around with the settings. That's the kind of idea, right? Music stream, maybe on a different channel, that would be nice, right? Yeah. AI VSTs are going to be a thing, I bet. AI? Oh yeah, AI VSTs. Yeah, I am still waiting for something that's good, right? Did you get woke over the keyboard? Yeah, we could have done an actual like demo track that probably would have been nicer than this kind of thing, right? But the intro music you hear every time when my stream starts, that's actually from me. Have to download. Yeah, try that out. Like I have a lot of other stuff also on there. Oh, I wanted to make a series. Back then, this was an idea for a channel about modular synthesis, and I built these kind of setups and then explain them in a video and then do the next one. So it's going step by step, but that didn't like really, I think there wasn't too much interest for that. There we have one that's based on another build that's based on the Uno. And then we made another like 150 presets, and I did some adjustments to make it just sound fatter from the sound. Let me actually check. How does this sound? Ooh. Wait a second. If you have good speakers, bass speakers, this might be something you like. 1 second. Let me go to the second screen here real quick. Listen to that. There you go. That's some pretty nice sub bass for your tracks. Synth geek. Yeah, I did some like several things, and also these kind of like value sequencers, 6 times 16 values as a block, right? So you can just set the values and then you have an output here. So it's like these compacted nodes, stuff like that, and such different value faders, yeah, and things like that. This kind of on and off switch for cables, so you can like just have 16 inputs and then turn it on and off without having to disconnect the cable every single time, right? These kind of things, right? Anyways, could be another life, right? Different kind of career. Anyways, maybe that comes after my AI career. Let's see. The music career or the photo career, which I also do like more photography lately. Yeah, there we go. One shop of AI art and synth. Yeah, right. And other art forms. Right. Max for Life. No, I never tried Max for Life. Never have used that one. That one might have been nice, but I didn't use that. By the way, let me I go here to the big screen real quick because I edited some more of my photos that I could maybe show you. 1 second. Where do we have that? This is the preview, but that is not fixed. Did I delete that file already? Oh, there we have first part. 1 second. You have already seen those. Yeah, they're a little bit mixed, but okay, so 1 second. Almost there. Just have to push this over here. So this is not AI related now, it's just like end of the stream talk. There we go. So here have some more of my photos from last time I showed you a little bit. This is like a fashion shooting kind of thing that I did a week ago, I guess. And then I also have versions of that where the background is black and white, so you see the dress a little bit more, because this is kind of a golden wallpaper and kind of mixes too much with the color. So this is without the color. It's pretty nice. And there she's sitting on the ground, just doing like more amateurish, not like professional fashion shoot, but still for a fashion store, right? She's a very nice model, also very good at posing. This one I like a lot. The cropping is maybe a little bit too tight, but I didn't have a lens where I could go far away, where I could have enough of the room, because the room was kind of tight, but my lens was also long focus, so I couldn't get like a wide angle enough to include enough of the room. So yeah, this is just the color version. I don't know why they are so like, there we have it, like different, like, okay, yeah, it's also my fault. I could have moved the camera a little bit more to the side, but yeah, these are the kind of like yet another life that could happen. There's so many different things you can do, right? There you go. And I think for most of the part, the only thing is to just do them and try to see if they work or not, right? Especially with arts, there's not like any kind of requirement or limitation of what you can do or can't do. So if you find people interested in the stuff you do them. If not, well, I don't know, right? So it's just like yeah, trying it. There we are in oh, there's a little bit of the chair left, I'm seeing right now. This is in a barber's shop. I just asked him if I can take photos. Very nice wood here on the background. This might be better with the color photo, but I wanted to have this version also. But I have to fix this part, didn't see that. Yeah, so this, it's interesting, right? With live, you can do so many things, but just like trying that, especially if it's in the creative area, you can do all kinds of things, right? And everybody has some needs, everybody wants some. And as long as you have the passion, you can kind of do them, right? And most creative fields, like they have a handful of different creative rules that you should look into. And a good way to get started is just to look at what other people are doing, right? Like with photography, for example, what I do is just I go to Pinterest and I search for different poses. I never do the same poses because they have to fit to the model, of course, and the model has to feel good with them. But it gives you some inspirations what you can do with that, right? And it also makes you less nervous in that situation, and it gives you better results because at least they're inspired by people who are much better than me as photographers. So I already know, like, for example, how high does the lens have to be? Like, do I have to kneel down on the ground, or does the lens come down from the top, and does she lean towards the camera or away from the camera, stuff like that. So it really, you can do a lot of shortcuts like that. Hackerman could start a music stream. That is a good idea, actually, right? Not so hot anymore under the wig. Yeah, that's true. Right. When the AI stuff is going down, I'm starting to do my Hackerman Synthi channel. That would be nice. Right. Yeah. And I think like people still gonna do their own art kind of thing, and AI is just like supporting that, right? Like think about the crazy potential that artists have right now with all these kind of inspirations you can get from AI. And then on top of that, if you have the skill that you're really good at drawing or really good at editing or photo bashing, stuff like that, and you can just edit the AI images into something that is much more perfect to what you want to have, you can do crazy things. And then you have all this kind of experience from the color harmonies, the composition, the storytelling, all these kind of different elements it put in the dynamics, the positioning of the body, all that kind of stuff. That helps you so much, right? With all of the control net, with all of the image-to-image rendering and understanding of what is a good image, what is a bad image, stuff like that, what works. Really helpful, right? So you can go very far. I don't think that people like just throw away things just because AI kind of can do that. You still, yeah, like you use your skill, and this is then an extra tool inside of your bag, right? That's the only difference, right? That's happening. But knowing all of these kind of skills is still good, and learning them is fun because it's basically just means you look at good art and analyze it. That's the only thing you do. Like when you go to an art school, most of the time what you do is you look at the works of other people, you analyze them. Of course, the professors tell you about like how to understand them correctly, how to read them correctly. Of course, there's not like a complete correct way to do like what it means, but you tell them, okay, I see this and that in the work, and they say, yeah, but it's more like, or they, let's say they know more about the background of the artist, the biography, the people that the artist know, the kind of philosophers the artist worked with, stuff like that, so they can like nudge you more into that kind of direction. That helps a lot, of course, to understand that. Sorry, I should look more at the chat. Still missing 6 fingers. Oh yeah, the 6 fingers, right? Is that, would you think like that might become a fashion that people wear a 6th silicone finger? Wouldn't that be funny, right? If the youth picks that up and they just wear like extra limbs because of AI. I think like that kind of for some reason, you know, at some point, like you have seen 6 fingers so often in AI that you kind of feel more, at least not more comfortable with it, but it feels normal, right? At some point where there's like extra fingers, you're just like, yeah, it's just like what it looks like, right? So that's kind of interesting, kind of change. Vera says, I think AI has reawakened a childlike love of art and computers I thought was dead. Absolutely, right? This kind of experimentation and exploration, especially because this can do all kinds of things. Like, for example, a friend of mine is a painter, and then we uploaded some of his images to Midjourney because we didn't have time enough to train a LoRa, and we created variations of his images so he can use them as an inspiration, as ideas to create his own paintings, right? Because the AI doesn't have a mind, it doesn't know what it's creating, so it creates often a lot of goofy details in there, but they can create connections that are artistically very interesting, right? And like just image compositions that are just interesting. We can actually look at that a little bit. Let me see. I don't think that's a secret, because they're just like sketches, so there shouldn't be much of a problem. Or I can just like show you some. Wait a second. What we do here? Let me quickly see if I find something that might be interesting to talk about. There's some crazy stuff in here. Oh yeah, there's a good series here. Let me switch over. Look at that here real quick. So here, let's maybe open this up a little bit bigger. So this is not exactly the style he's painting in. His paintings look different, but they're kind of similar in this kind of like abstractness. But he doesn't have this kind of color shift in here, these kind of gradients and stuff. It's not that kind of painterly, if you might. But because AI doesn't know what it's doing, and we based it on his artistic style and said we want to have a tower. AI Midjourney just created towers inspired by his image input. But of course here, a lot of interesting like crazy things are happening in the image. It's kind of strange. Like for example, here you have this kind of like ladder or whatever it is. It's going like it's ending in nothingness. It's darkness down here, and it's just coming up here with this kind of strange construct. Sorry. So that's kind of strange. And then the whole composition that you have this here in the middle, then you have this shape here in the background that might look like a giant head. So there's a lot of goofiness in there that you would never use in a painting. Maybe you would use it in a painting about like a monster or something in like a comic illustration or something like that. But like for fine art, it's kind of a little bit too on the nose. But then up here, for example, you have this kind of like floating figure here, which might wear a skirt, not quite sure. It might be a bird head, not quite sure. But it's kind of an interesting concept, and everything is so centered, right? The tower is completely centered. The figure here is centered, right? And it's just a very interesting concept. It doesn't mean anything, but you can take hints from that. That's a kind of interesting starting point. Here we have another one. The moon is kind of a little bit strange. Or here we have this one with this kind of guy standing here. It's also nice, right? There's often these kind of like strange details, like this guy, and then also the idea that his upper body is a complete shape. You can see like a pill, but then the arm is kind of like weaved into that, and then kind of like going into the pants down here. But everything is one shape, which is also strange. I don't think people would necessarily draw it or paint it like that. And that's also good inspiration. And kind of the way, just like the way he stands up here, it's just, yeah, you wouldn't necessarily think about doing it that way, right? There's a lot of like different little elements in here that are just like strange, but at the same time interesting. And then you can use them as inspiration points, right? Or this just like this for no reason, this shape up here, right? And often like an interesting thing is that, or this kind of thing down here, an interesting thing with the human mind is that we find reason in things even if it doesn't have reason, right? So even though the AI doesn't know what it's doing, the interesting thing for you is that you can find reason in that and then turn it into something in your own artwork by using that kind of element, maybe in a completely different painting and a different artwork, but just like use this kind of shape in there for some reason that you figured out is artistically interesting for you, right? Yeah, so that's just like interesting things that AI can do for you. There's a lot more, like we did dozens or hundreds, I'm not quite sure, right? And all of them have some kind of like, yeah, it's kind of interesting elements in them, right? Not everything is perfect, but like, for example, here you have this guy sitting on a ladder or like crouching on a ladder for some reason. It's also kind of strange, right? And then up here you have this kind of like, is it a horse? Is it a person? For some reason, there's kind of like this kind of bar situation up here with a window behind there. So yeah, it's just like interesting, strange combinations that might inspire you to do something. Or what is this thing here? You know, is it an elevator? Is it like a, you know, for these kind of columns for advertisement? Is it for like a phone? Is it a toilet? Could be all kinds of things, you know? It's very strange. Okay, anyways, let's go back to the chat. Sorry, it was another very long chat. But like using this for inspiration is pretty interesting. I guess David Cronenberg's last movie was sort about it. I haven't seen that actually. What was the last movie from David Cronenberg? Wasn't it the one with this kind of gas tower? This kind of gas storage? Wasn't that the last Cronenberg movie? Wait. IMDb. Let me see. David Cronenberg. Star Trek? He worked on Star Trek Discovery? What the hell? Oh, actor. Okay. Crimes of the Future. Interesting. Uh-huh. Oh, I think the one that I mean, is it maybe Nest, the one I mean? No, that looks different. I'm not quite sure, to be honest. Is it just a short film? No, that's not what I mean. I have to check that out. I'm not sure. Okay. Where's the chat? 1 second. I already saw some Silicon China 6 thing. Oh yeah, really? In China they already created like Silicon 6 fingers. That's fun. The idea behind the 6-finger prosthetic comes from the fact that a prosthetic is not just a replacement mod and an augmentation. It's if someone is missing a limb, replacing it is an augmentation. That's also true, right? Like, I think often we think like we couldn't handle having extra limbs or maybe an extra eye or something like that because we are so tuned to have these kind of like 5 fingers on each hand and like 2 eyes. But of course, like if you have a person who is born with 6 or 7 fingers on one hand, they can just use all 6 and 7 fingers, no problem, right? So I guess if you, for example, would have like an extra eye or an extra ear, technically, you could like adapt to that over time and just like have this kind of extra part of vision that you could take up, an extra kind of part of hearing. And with hearing, it's pretty easy, right? You just put a microphone into a room and then you can hear that room at the same time. And we already use that, right? By just people hearing into other locations while at the same time hearing what's going on around them. So we have zero problem about using like more ears than we have on our body. So these kind of like augmentations or how can I say, additions to the body? Yeah, there's a lot of potential for that, right? Extra finger people are people too. Okay, crimes of the future. I will check that out. Yeah. Polydactylism. That is a cool word. Wow. Okay. We are all missing a second thumb on each hand. I could use 2 more arms, to be honest, like just to do stuff on the go additionally, right? Or sometimes you just want to do like extra stuff, like you want to type but then also drink coffee but not put the hand up or stuff like that, you know. Things like that. Repaint that. Yeah, right, repaint that or use it as inspiration. I actually want to pick up painting again because I'm so like, there's so much inspiration from AI, and I just think I want to do that too because it feels good to paint it with your own like tools, with your own hands, and then your own mix comes into that. It's just nice. You only need 3 fingers for your mouse. Some people have these mouses with a lot of buttons, especially for these kind of role-playing games and stuff like that. World of Warcraft, you can have a mouse with like 30 different buttons to have every kind of shortcut on there. I never could use that. I bought one, but I never could use it. It's just too much for me. Yeah, it hallucinates images. Right. I'm a little bit behind on the chat, sorry. Is there a hotkey to generate the image in ComfyUI when it's ready? A hotkey to generate... Is there? I'm not sure. I don't think ComfyUI has the same thing. Automatic 1111, I think, has Shift Enter, right? Or Control Enter, either of those. You might be able to set up in the settings a shortcut for rendering. Pretty sure that should be possible to just have a render button. Let me see. Is there anything? Does anybody know if there's like a key that you can put to rendering? By the way, it would also be interesting if maybe there is a timer node. What do you think about that? Like having a timer node where it renders an image, let's say every 30 seconds, so you can do some adjustments and then it starts to render on its own, right? So you just like stay in the flow, do the adjustments, and then once in a while it starts to render an image. I'm not quite sure if that would be super useful, but maybe. But you can experiment with these kind of things, right? By just creating your own nodes. That might be interesting. Control Enter works. Oh yeah, with automatic 1111, right? Multimodal AI that knows and understands the history and evolution of artistic styles and can intervene new artistic styles with reasoning behind and how and why those new styles were invented. Right. Yeah, absolutely. Like even now you can go to ChatGPT and you ask about different, like for example, story ideas or maybe genre ideas or stuff like that, and it gives you different kind of combinations it can come up with and inspire you. I don't know if AI will ever be able to understand things, because like one thing that I find interesting about the history of AI that we have seen over the last year is that it got a little bit better, but it did not got, in most cases, it did not get dramatically better, right? And then there's a difference between, for example, an AI that drives a car, because it can be complex to drive a car, but basically there is not much where you can go. You can go backward, forward, left, and right. So even though it has to take a lot of choices into consideration, the output is limited to how fast you go and do you go backward, forward, left, and right. This is very, very different from creating an image with reasoning behind that, because reasoning is like incredibly complex, and I don't know if AI will ever arrive that. But that's the interesting thing about an image, is reasoning is required to create the image in the right way, for the right purpose. And that is what's limiting a lot of the things we see right now with all of the errors we're getting also with the hands, because the hand from the perspective can be so different from whatever you see, because actually a hand, I can't turn it right now, actually a hand sometimes only has one finger, right? And sometimes it might be that you have hands that just have more fingers because it's two hands at that moment, but it doesn't mean that you can see it in the image of what's going on, right? So you need an AI that has sort of kind of a reasoning why this looks like this and can understand that, right? I'm not sure if we will ever get there. I think right now there's a lot of optimism about what AI can or can't do. But I think a lot of that optimism might be a little bit too optimistic, right? Like at the beginning when we had the internet, right? And it was like the imagine the like remember the AI the ideas we had back then, right? People came up about this kind of amazing, I mean, they come up about like they kind of dream that right now with this kind of virtual world where everybody's living and we're connecting and like we are only talking over the phone with video calls and everything is so interactive and blah, 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 all these kind of things. But actually what it melted down to is a tool that helps us in the background with a lot of things that are happening, while in the foreground we consume very simplified information that is already prepared for us, but it's not a super extra complex network that is all involving for us, right? As we imagined it at the past being, right? We are not completely consumed by it. It's just a side component that most of the time lives inside of our smartphone, and then sometimes we sit down on the computer because we need a bigger screen for working, stuff like that. So and the other ways where it has melted into our everyday life is most of it is just in the background, right? Like with online stores, with online, these kind of word libraries, video libraries, all these kind of things, but they are just there so you can like ask for the information and get it, but the whole process is automated in the background. You don't need to touch that, right? So this kind of like everybody owns his own online universe never came true because nobody really needs that, right? And it might be the same with AI, where at a certain point we realize it's pretty cool, but we don't need more and we can't achieve more, right? It would be incredibly difficult and expensive and resource hungry to get this kind of super finalized results, like for example an AI that actually understands the image. Do we really need that, or do we just need something like for example the way that 3D animation replaced a lot of practical effects in movies, right? Which is pretty cool, but at the same time it's still just a tool and you have to learn how to use it. It's not just where you click and then you get an automatic like amazing explosion from that. You have to do everything of that by hand still, right? Sorry, I have to look at I like to do my monologues. Actually, we made a background last time, forgot about that. I don't think I have it here right now though. Book? No, that's something else. Okay, never mind. I can prove to you that it can actually understand. In fact, it's a trivial thing to do. No, it's not. Absolutely not. It can also misunderstand, but misunderstanding can be corrected. No, it's not a trivial thing. Like, I think what you mean by that is that AI can understand it in the limits, in the limited way of when you ask it for something, and then it gives you something in return that fits what you asked for. But that is not understanding. It has nothing to do with understanding, right? Like, for example, if you give me a box with different symbols, and then you ask me for one of these symbols and I give you that symbol, doesn't mean that I know what the symbol means. It just means that I have an index of the symbols, and this is why I can give you the symbol. And if there is a combination of these symbols that make a perfect sentence, it doesn't mean that I understand anything of that sentence. It's just that I have a chart that tells me in what combination the symbols work, so that the output is what you expect from me, but I don't have to understand anything of that. And this is what AI is doing right now with the language. The language AI models don't understand anything of what they are writing. What they are doing is they calculate the most likely word that comes next in the sentence, which sounds completely absurd. But yeah, that's what it's doing. Like, based on all the training data, it just figures out when this is the sentence so far, this word is most likely to be next. Doesn't mean it understands anything, but just by the probability mathematically, this is what should be there, right? Doesn't mean any understanding, right? Where do we go from that? Let's see. Is there a way to post the image generation in certain... I don't think ComfyUI has any way to pause the image generation. This is also something like I'm missing, or like cancel the image generation. I don't think it has that, right? I don't know. I haven't seen it yet. Clip vision is an image. Is there in fact a various ways to do so? Olivio knows the details of such things better. I have not done much with the art models. What are we talking about? Is there a way to pause image generation? Okay, that's the thing. I think I get it. Image to image setup with ComfyUI. Yeah, check it out with ComfyUI. Triple Hat Monkey says, true, it might be better for now at least. What? That we have a visual FX suite rather than a true word to image model at the moment. There just won't be enough resources to run it. The limited way I have to prove to quite a few, like an example, artificial intelligence models, that they are capable of comprehension. So yes, providing it to human is quite trivial by comparison. What? The limited way I have had to prove to quite a few, like, for example, artificial intelligence models, that they are capable of comprehension. So yes, proving it to human is quite trivial by comparison. I don't know what that sentence means. I don't know what you mean by that. You have to rephrase that. I don't think I agree. Like, first of all, even for humans, most things, to understand them is very complex. And we do have reasoning behind the things we are doing. But then also, the things that might look like the AI is understanding what you mean and talk to you is again just like the process of you interacting with a machine who doesn't know what you say but gives you back what you want from the machine, right? So I don't have a good example for that. Maybe an example would be if you are in a video game and you do something with an NPC and you request something, and it might be a complex dialogue with multiple choices and this and that. It might seem like the NPC is understanding what you want to do. Like, for example, as a simple, very, very simple example, has nothing to do with AI, but you can say to your NPC companion in a video game, wait here or follow me. Of course, that has nothing to do with AI, so it's not an AI sample. But if you have a more complex task, you might come to the conclusion that, hey, the NPC understands what I mean because he's doing what I'm saying. He's giving me the stuff that I asked for. But actually, it's just like the function in the game, right? That the AI, sorry, not the AI, the NPC is waiting there because the function wait means wait. But it doesn't like, there's no purpose behind that for the AI, right? It's just like the way it's like it's coded. You know what I mean? So I would be very surprised if that is true. There might be a very limited way of comprehension, but comprehension is not easy to do. If that was easy to do, why is it the holy grail of AI to have AI that is smart? That makes no sense, right? every AI scientist around the world who is like working on that kind of problem is absolutely obsessed by the idea of creating an AI that has human intelligence and actual comprehension and understanding of topics. And we are super far away from that. So if that was so super easy to create, yeah, I don't think so, right? Then why isn't it here, right? And of course, this guy from Google, he thought it was intelligent and stuff like that. Yes, you can be like, you can think you have an intelligent conversation with an AI, but it's just because you get back what you think you want from that, right? Like, for example, even with humans, like if you want to have your like, if you meet someone and you want them to be impressed by how good of a conversation partner you are, the best way to do that, to convince them you're a really good conversation partner, is to say nothing. And they will, after the, like with a super high, you can try that, with a super high percentage of likeliness, if you say nothing, they will end the conversation by saying, wow, you're a really nice conversation partner. I guarantee you. You have to say some things. The only thing you have to say is, okay, that's interesting. Tell me more about that. These kind of 3 combinations in different variations, just by listening. You don't say anything. They talk all of the time, but they have the illusion that you said amazing things. You didn't say amazing things. You just listened intently to what they said, right? So that's the thing. I wouldn't say that I could prove it if I couldn't back up such a statement. I think you're convinced you can prove it, but if that was possible, where is it? Why do you have that ability, and Google and Meta from Facebook and Stability AI and OpenAI, which have millions and upon millions of funding, don't have that ability? Yeah, it's the Chinese room problem, right? It's you think it might have understanding, but it doesn't really have, like, even ChatGPT doesn't have any kind of understanding of self-reference. It tells you, oh, sorry, I made a mistake, but that means nothing. It will repeat that mistake exactly in the same like answer, because it doesn't get it, right? Like, one thing, like I will wait a second. I will show you right now one thing. 2 things, actually. Oh, wait a second. Let me check my ChatGPT beforehand. Can you hide? Oh, you can hide the sidebar. I didn't know that. Okay, cool. Okay, I want to show you 2 things. The first thing we're going to ask ChatGPT is, how many N's are in the word pause? How many letter N are in the word pause? There's no N in there. We can agree on that. There's no N in the word pause. Okay, ChatGPT, the word pause has 2 letter N's in it. Anything else you'd like to know or chat about? Are you sure? Oops, my bad. I apologize for my mistake. There is only 1 letter N in the word pause. Check again. I think you are wrong. Let's go. You're absolutely right. I apologize for any confusion earlier. I double checked and there is no letter N in the word pause. Okay, so now we have a, yeah, it goes with a no. Okay, but let's try again. Check again, please. Let's see. Check again. Oh, now it is with no letters. Okay, so pretty cool. It kind of stuck with that. Good. So now I want to have another thing. I want to have, please tell me the title of the Tom Scott YouTube video about the moon, with the link and a summary. All right, there we go. Does it do something? No, it doesn't do something. Shit. Wait, is he called Tom Scott? Because he comes up with fantasy videos. Tom Scott? Yes, that's the guy. 1 second. Do you know Tom Scott? He is a popular YouTuber. Okay. What is the title and summary of his YouTube video about the shortest river? Let's see. Ah! Why does it work right now? Tom Scott, the shortest river. Do you know past titles of Tom Scott YouTube videos? It doesn't work right now. Ah, shortest river. The science of. Ah, here it starts. The shortest river, the location of the shortest river. Let's see. Is it called the shortest river? No, it's not called the shortest river. Weird places. In this video, Tom Scott might explore. Oh, it might explore. I had in the past where it told me like a completely like untrue. Oh, wait a second. In 2018, Tom Scott made a video about the shortest river. Give me a summary. Let's see if it falls for that. Ah, there we go. There we go. I apologize for the confusion earlier. In 2018, Tom Scott indeed made a video titled The Shortest River. In this video, Tom Scott explores the Roe River, located in Montana, USA, which is often considered the shortest river in the world. The video is likely discusses the unique features of the Roe River, its length and its significance, and so on, blah, blah, blah. And the thing is, like, if you now ask ChatGPT, are you sure it's not a real video? Then, like, at least in the past, ChatGPT told me, no, this is absolutely a real video. They might have fixed that by now. I'm not quite sure. But again, here, you can get ChatGPT to just tell you, yeah, of course, like he made in 2018 a video. And first of all, you can see here, the video has a different name. And it's 4 years ago. When is that? 2019, actually, right? No, wait a second. Oh, yeah, it is 2019, right? So it's also not from that year. Like, I could also, like, write any kind of different name in there. Wait a second. Do you have a YouTube link to that video? Let me see. In the past, it gave links. Fake links, not real links, fake links. Yeah, anyways, but you can see it's like not really like knowing what it's saying. Anyways, so that's kind of the problem of these kind of things of it might be very like knowledgeable and give you very good explanation, but doesn't really mean it has like understanding. Of course, understanding or comprehension can be defined in a lot of different ways, right? Something looks like is only one of the first layer. Even humans can possess all layers of comprehensions or everyday items. Ah, okay, right. Yeah, I mean, you have to also like take into consideration at that point that, of course, AI, if it analyzes an image, it does it in a different way, right? Than we do. Doesn't, again, it's like it's not so easy to actually prove understanding in, for example, in comparison with categorization, right? Like, you can have a machine, like, for example, one thing you could do. Let me switch over here again. One thing you could do is, like, I make a board, not a board. Let's say I have a what is it called? Yeah, let's say I make a board. I make a board and I drill different holes into the board, and then I put different stones on the board, and I have I have different amounts of boards with different sizes of holes, and I shake it, and of course every board then at the end only has this kind of stone size on the board. It doesn't really mean that the board understands what the stone size is, right? It only means that the filter of the board is set in a way where this stone size doesn't fit, but the rest can go through. And this is the same thing with like analyzing an image, that you have a filter in there that says, oh, this is what a face is like saved in my database, or in the I don't know, in this kind of system on how I recognize a face. So this is fitting the pattern of what I'm looking for. So it's looking for a pattern. This is the pattern, right? So this must be a face. And so it categorizes it as a face. Doesn't mean it understands what a face is. So it also can have something like a shadow that looks like a face, or there's a print of a face on a wall where we would say that's a picture of a face, is not a face. It's a shadow looks like a face, it's not a face. It might be a dog that is from a certain perspective looks, or a monkey or something looks like a face, but it's not like a human face that we are looking for. So we understand that the machine doesn't know it because it looks for patterns, but this doesn't mean there is an understanding of that, right? Because this is the like this very complex process of understanding is to how can I say, not just categorize things, but actually have the understanding between all of these different steps and cultural references and putting it into the situation and what does it mean in the situation. There's a lot of information that goes into understanding rather than just having knowledge or having an archive or having a pattern or having a certain system or raster or any kind of thing you're looking for and then going by an index or a system or a software to give back that kind of data. None of that requires any kind of understanding, right? You might have a book like a how do you say, like a index of all the words in the English language. It does not mean that the book can speak English, but it has a knowledge in that sense of all the words in the English language. So it knows more about English than you do, but it still can't write a single sentence from that, right? So there's a huge difference between understanding something and just preparing information in a certain way. Sorry, again, like my monologues, they are always coming in. Yeah. Neither does Stable Diffusion understand what an image is, as ChatGPT doesn't even know what the words are. It's all just code. Wait, yeah, right. It's all just code, right? It's just because Stable Diffusion makes a beautiful image that looks like artistic images. What it does is it takes noise and then arranges the noise, basically a simple explanation, into the way it is most likely to what is trained on the image to look like. But Stable Diffusion will do absolutely everything for you that you train it on, any kind of art style. So if you tell Stable Diffusion this is an image of a dog and this is abstract art, even though it's an image of a banana and it's a photography, if you train it like that, it's probably going to do it like that because you associated the image of a banana with the word face. It doesn't know it's not a face, right? Doesn't mean anything. Just to be clear, I wasn't speaking a hypothetical. When I say I can prove it, yes, I know. When you can say you can prove it, you can prove it. And please, if you can do that, I beg you, write an email to Facebook Meta, to Google, to OpenAI and Stability AI. Because if you can prove it that AI at this point has comprehension and understanding of actual human knowledge in a way that humans do, or even in a simpler version of that, they will pay you millions to be able to do that, because nobody has that right now. This is what everybody's looking for. It's just not there, right? Even if you see these like cool videos that you have from these kind of labs with the robots dancing, that is fake. It's not real. They can't do that right now. You don't have a robot just like doing backflips willy-nilly. They take hours upon hours, and this stupid robot is crashing a million times until they have one take where it does the backflip correctly, and then they cut all of that together to one like take that looks like the robot did all of that at the same time, but it does not do that at the same time. They have a video showing that it's not real, it's fake. The robot isn't and like able to do that right now. It can't just walk around and pick up stuff and then dance with the stuff. It's just not possible, right? It's super, super complicated. One of the biggest complications with that is also because the sensors that we can build are just not precise enough for that. And if they are very precise, they're at the same time extremely, not only extremely expensive, but also extremely, what do you say? Can be extremely affected by anything around them. The temperature, the light situation, small damages on it, all kinds of things to just go wrong, right? So the stuff that we have in our skin, all these kind of senses, that is like incredible magic. We can't do anything like that from this kind of like how robust it is and at the same time how good the sensor feedback is. And also, a robot only has a bunch of sensors in the complete robot, while we have millions of sensors all over our body. And this is why for us it's so easy to just like balance and do all these kind of things, because we get like tons of feedback. And at the same time, our motors are organic, soft flesh muscle, while the robot has kind of hydraulic or whatever kind of motor in it, which is very unprecise and rigid at the same time. It can't adapt to the situation, right? It's just not working, right? He's saying he has trained his own LLM, which actually understands things. If you want to believe that, right? Send it to the big companies and let them test them. But I think you're just falling for the same fallacy like the guy on Google, that you think you're talking to a sentient AI and it's just everybody's just saying, nah, bro. It's just you got fooled by it's just sounding very human, but it's not real, right? It's like muscle memory. It's not understanding some point when it comes to practice a sport. Yeah, muscle memory is also an interesting thing that the robot doesn't have. It's actually a very good point, because a lot of the stuff that our body does is not this kind of communication between the brain and the rest of the body. The body is doing stuff on its own that is happening without the brain in between, because the time would just be too short. Even with the speed of the energy going up into your brain and back, would not be enough time to do that kind of action, to react so fast to that. So this kind of muscle memory that we train over time, to be able to, like, for example, walk without falling over, stuff like that, or when there's some unevenness on the ground and you just even it out. A lot of the body can do stuff on its own at that moment, right? If it's alive, of course, right? So yeah. Robot playing ping pong, yeah. That is also cool, right? There's a lot of cool examples, but they are made to look much more advanced than they actually are. In the real world, right? I'm actually very surprised that these kind of electric self-driving cars are as good as they are so far, even though they do a lot of mistakes, right? If you watch actual videos of people testing them, you will see that they do still, you have to like steer a lot, like intervene where it might do some stuff that is not so, is a little bit sketchy, right? They're still very, very good though at what they do. Also planning of publishing a formula is something I don't know much about doing, and I'm not sure what I will publish first, but I'm planning on doing so. Yes, do that. That's good. You might mix a consciousness on a process and being in control. You mix to be conscious on a process and being in control. I wasn't really trying to convince anyone here. I was only stating a fact. It's okay if you believe that. Send it to some experts and let them see what they think about that, right? Just from my perspective, it doesn't make sense that you train the model on an AI structure that doesn't have the ability, and you say the model that you trained also with your limited like funding that you have, like the computer you have and stuff like that, and suddenly this kind of training that you did outranks the much bigger training that the people did to develop all of that kind of AI and the system behind that, right? Because they like training these kind of models, they cost like I don't know, what was it like? Stability AI, the model, didn't it cost like $100 million to train it? It's a really like intense process. It's not just like, and the open AI also, it costs like at least, I don't know what it costs exactly, but let's say 50, 60, 70 million dollars to train the language model of OpenAI ChatGPT. We can actually look that up. To train ChatGPT 4. The report claimed that the competition... Sam Altman stated that the cost of training ChatGPT was more than $100 million. There you go. So, and ChatGPT is not even close to being conscious or smart or understanding of anything. It's just like, it's a nice tool to help you with things. So, I don't know, but maybe it might be. I don't know. Just send it to experts and see what they say, right? There's always a chance, right? There's always a chance. Anyways, we are at, oh my god. Again, I talked for 1 hour after the end of the stream. Holy shit. I always go into my monologues. I'm sorry about that, but I think it was still kind of interesting and fun. Yeah. I mean, I hope that AI is going as far as it can. I see that recently in the last year, the gains have become smaller and the hardware that is required has become much more, right? And still, like, for example, if you think about SDXL and what it's bringing to the table, and then at the same time how much more GPU time and how much better hardware it needs, and it's not even that much better. If it would be much better, you would say, cool, okay, I can deal with that, but it's not. So if you have something that is really a lot better and has really a lot more resolution and really a lot more understanding and a lot more parameters it is trained on, imagine how crazy the hardware might be like that. And if the hardware requirements, for example, if the hardware requirements and the parameters that the model needs to have to be better at the thing that it needs to do is exponential, holy shit, right? If that is the thing, wow, then you need like an actual supercomputer to use the models of the future. I don't know, you know? I mean, if you think about 3D graphics, you have Pixar movies where one frame, a single frame, can take like 30 hours to render, right? And that's with like modern rendering hardware that is specifically built and configured to render 3D images. So we didn't like go to a situation where we can render these kind of 3D movie quality images in like real time. We have very good computer graphics for video games, but the thing about that is we didn't go down the route of actually making the technology better for the graphics. Instead, the studios learned how to trick us into making the lights and the shadows and the reflections and everything look real and feel real, even though they're not real, right? And now, of course, we have ray tracing. It's kind of cool. But at the same time, you see, when you compare ray tracing to the fakery that they did before, ray tracing is actually not improving it that much, and you need much better hardware, and the gain is like minuscule. The only thing where it's actually really nice is when you have a reflection on the ground. But to tell you the truth, when I play Call of Duty or some other game, I couldn't give less of a crap about what the reflection of the puddle on the ground looks like. I'm not looking on the ground when I play the video game. I'm looking on the competition, right? So it doesn't even matter if it looks nice or not. The fake light in most cases even looked better because that's artistic light applied for dramatic reason. Realistic light is following nature, which is cool for some games, but not for all games, right? So it has some benefits, but is it really worth getting a 4080 to have a graphic that's like a little bit better than what you can render with a 1080 that's much cheaper? I don't know, you know? Anyway, doesn't do LLM. It's not that I don't do LLM stuff. It's that there is no development in AI that is showing any signs of consciousness yet, right? That's just the point, right? Or comprehension. That's just the thing. Like, if it would be nice if it was, but there isn't, right? There's an improvement with ray tracing, but it's like, it's, you can take it, you can leave it, right? Wait a second. Like the only times you really see much difference is when they show water reflections. Most of the other time it's like, not sure if I need it. 1 second. Oh, there might be a feedback loop now with the sound. And also this is... shut the hell up, man, with your stupid advertisements here. 1 second. I'm not sure if this is a good example because it's very dark. Okay. I don't know. Whoop. There's no comparison. 1 second. Okay. There's a scene. Can you see that? 1 second. Not sure how much you can see that, how well you can see that. So this is like ray tracing off. And then you have ray tracing on. Looks like the same. Like, don't tell me this is magically better and you have to like spend $3,000 for a new computer because this is what you see before and this is what you see after. Like the sign is like glowing a little bit more and the shadows are like, of course, real time, but who cares about that, right? Look at that. This is without ray tracing. This is with ray tracing. Did you see the difference? Other than the glowing up here, I didn't really see any difference. And then there's path tracing. And yeah, of course. But it's brighter and it's a little bit more saturated. I can do that with an overlay filter on the video, right? I don't have to have a super good hardware for that. This is just like a filter that you can like, what is it called? The filter that you can put on video games? Where you can set your own settings so the game looks nicer and sharper and stuff like that. It doesn't do any kind of special rendering or stuff. FX something, I can't remember it. But like, this is darker and then I mean also, like if this is the artistic vision of the game and it's dark because it's Blade Runner idea dystopian, and then you have this fancy pants version here that looks nice and bright and pink and it's like, this is not the artistic version of that, right? The artistic vision is kind of like not reflected in that also. This is why where I said this is this is the artistic light, how they imagined it to be, because the light is set to give you the exact impression of what the artists want to have. And this might be what the real light sources would do, but who gives a crap about what the real light sources would do when you want to watch when you want to have the actual thing? That's like saying you go to an action movie and then complain about, oh, but the weapon doesn't work like that. Yes, but it's an action movie. You want to see the action. The car doesn't explode in a ball of fire. Yeah, but I want to see it because it looks cool and it's action-y. I don't want to see a car just crashing down the mountain with nothing happening at all. I want to see the artistic version of it exploding into a fireball, right? With crazy sound, or with hand grenades that explode in a fireball. They don't. They make a little puff, but nobody cares about the little puff. You want to see that, right? You want to see the fireball. Anyways, too much talk. There we go. Let me see. I will research the topic of comprehension in AI, but I don't think there's anything like that. Maybe in, I don't know, 30 years or something, but so far I don't think we have seen anything like that. Okay, anyways. Whew. Thank you very much for that. The talk was way too long afterwards, but I think the first 2 hours were pretty interesting about ComfyUI, so that was fun. Yeah, so thanks for that, and thanks for the interesting talk. Yeah, see you soon. And next time I will keep my monologues a little bit shorter. Anyways, okay, my friends, where's the cue button for the music? One moment. There we go. Okay, cool. See you soon, my friends. Thanks for watching. Bye.